Welcome to the Full Court Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Sheldon Moore. That's my guy, Charles Jackson. How you doing, bro?
Doing all right, man. How you feeling?
I am actually very sad right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. The Lakers lost last night. Very, very bad loss, honestly. But we're gonna get way more into that. And I want to say a couple of things before we really get started. Shout out to Julius Randle. I called him a playoff flopper because I had to see if he was gonna step it up in this series, and he stepped it up. Because without him, they probably don't win this series. So I'm giving Julius Randle his flowers. I'm really giving him his flowers. Because the last two playoff series he played when he was on the Knicks, he was terrible. But he goes to the Timberwolves, he get the favorable matchup in the Lakers. He played really good. So I'm giving Julius Randle his flowers. And another thing, you was wrong about Jordan Clarkson's playoff career high. It was not 43. It was definitely 20
I said,
something. Yes, you
no,
did.
it
You
didn't.
said
No, it
43.
wasn't. Lee.
Yes,
I
you
looked
did.
it.
You said 43. It was not 43. His playoff career high was like 26. That's because I look back and you said 43.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh no, that's all I want to say. I just want to say I don't know where you got 43 from. And
Man,
another
that shit
thing,
was irrelevant.
no,
You didn't have
because
to bring that up. That shit
I
was
did.
irrelevant.
I did because you was confident in 43 points. And I'm like, there's no
Okay.
way he scored
And,
43.
he's
And
still, him and Jalen Green is still the same. So,
I ain't going that far. But I'm going, and another thing, bro, I'm tired of talking basketball with people that can't explain themselves, bro. I'm tired of that. If you can't explain why a guy's trash, I'm just not even gonna talk to you, bro. There's just no point. At least, like you, for example, you say Jalen Green sucks, he's trash, and all that, but you can explain to me why he's trash, and that's all I ask for. I ask for you to explain why he's trash. You see, I ask our guys in the group chat. They say Tatum
hmm
sucks. They say Tyrese Halliburton sucks. I said explain why. What do I get? What do I get? A picture that tells me everything I need to know. That just tells me everything I need to know. You guys just don't like the players, and that's perfectly fine that you don't like a player. But I at least want you to tell me why you don't like them. That's all I ask for. Because I'm the type of guy. It's like if you think this team is trash, this player is trash, just tell me why. And that's why I like you, because you're gonna tell me why Jalen Green is trash. We may disagree on it, but you're gonna at least explain to me why he's trash. And that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to get that out of the way because I'm tired of talking to people like that. Bro. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of my time. But to get it started, let's start with our most disappointment players that we saw this season and the players that exceeded our expectations all season long. You can name a disappointing or a person that exceeded your expectation. You can go
well,
first.
first let's. I'm gonna start with uh, I'm gonna start with Lamelo. Lamelo was disappointing this season. We had high hopes. This coming into the season, people had high hopes for Cade and Lamelo that they could stay healthy, and lead their team to a potential playoff spot. But Lamelo couldn't stay healthy. So it was very disappointing because we thought this was going to be a big year for him, and he couldn't stay on the court at all. And the
Oh
talent's
no,
there, and if he's on the court, that team is a totally different team. But couldn't stay healthy.
oh no, I didn't have him on there, but low key, he probably should have been on there. Like the disappointment is he's basically in that Zion range. He just can't stay healthy, and it's the same injury. It's an ankle. It's not a
hmm
hamstring. It's not like a leg. It's not an arm. It's an ankle. I don't know what it is, but it's always the ankle injuries. I think he came into the season wearing ankle braces, and it still didn't work. And I think he did. I think he had a procedure. I don't think it was like a major surgery, but I think he had like a procedure on one of his ankles or both. I don't know. But the fact that you are like the star player of the Hornets and you can't stay healthy, it is very disappointing. So I definitely agree with that. Disappointment player. Honestly, though, it's kind of different now, but we're going basically kind of in a regular season. I'll say Jabari Smith. We thought Jabari Smith was a third overall pick. And we thought, but this is year 3 for him. We thought he would take the next step. He really didn't take the next step. I didn't see nothing really that changed with him. I think he has all the intentions to be a good player, but I feel like he just hasn't shown it on this Rocket squad. Now, that could be maybe because Ime is kind of holding him back, or it's just the fact that the team it's a lot of young talent in his stack. But I feel like we should see more of Jabari Smith, and then he gets injured, and then Thompson rises, and now he's on the bench. And now it's like, now there's question marks of, are you one of the guys we move forward with, or do we take another chance? Because I think he's extension eligible. I don't know if it might be this summer or the next summer. But now we got to think about it. Do we trade you, or do we want to sign you to a long-term deal? Now it's question marks now, but I would put Jabari Smith in like that disappointment category.
Well, yeah, Jabari Smith. Like you said, we thought he was going to come in better because last year he had a decent year. But then this year, I think his points went down like 2 points. I think he was averaging like 14 last year. Now he's averaging like 12. But I think the rise of Amen Thompson is what really, pushed him to the bench. And then on top of that, everybody else, I mean, he came in, we thought he was going to be a great defender or a good defender. And I think Ime likes Amen and Tyrese more than, Jabari Smith. Because Jabari Smith, he's still kind of wiry. He's like Chet. He's 6'10", but 180, 190 pounds. Whereas Amen and Tyrese, they bigger than him. So, that could be a reason why, he got demoted too because of, defensive purposes. A player that exceeded my expectations this year, though, the most improved player of the year, Dyson Daniels. I think he should be on everybody's exceeded because no one's seen this coming. No one, I guarantee you, the casual fans did not even know who Dyson Daniels was until they started talking about him on ESPN. But yeah, Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels is is one of my most one of my players that exceeded expectations this year. He jumped his points up from plus 10, went from 5 to 14, and increased damn near every stat, every category of stats: rebounds, assists, steals, field goal percentages. He increased everything.
No, yeah, he was on my list too. Even though I guess you could say like, hey, he's a good defender, but who thought he was gonna lead the league in steals? Like, who thought that? No one thought that. And his offensive game, is a little question mark, but the fact that his points jump from 6 off the top of my head to probably to 14, that's a big jump. That is a really big jump. And his assists and his rebounding, I think we said it like a couple of weeks ago. He has been the second best player on that team, and especially since Jalen Johnson went out. And I'm glad he won Most Improved because I swear I was like, they gonna give it to K, but we both picked Dyson Daniels because we knew he deserved it. And I was like, the league got it right. They definitely got it right. And then they showed the results. K didn't even get a lot of first place votes. Zubac actually came in second on first place votes. But then I think K had the most third place votes though. So I'm glad the league did right. Well, the voters at least. I'm glad the voters did right and they saw his improvement. I'm glad they saw that because K was leading basically majority of the year. And I'm like, bro, they're gonna give it to K because he got the team winning. But Dyson Daniels literally improved his play. So yes, he's on there, and I'm glad they did it right. Another player that I would say exceeded expectations. I'd say Trey Murphy. I think Trey Murphy. Hey, Trey Murphy, a baller, bro. I know this is probably his first year as like you could say the guy, even though Zion was there, but not there. DeJounte was there, but he was one of the most healthiest players, even though he got injured too. He was one of the most healthiest players, and he looked like one of the most complete players on that team. And he definitely took the next step. And now they're looking at him as a cornerstone for the Pelicans. He played 53 games. He averaged 21 points, 5 boards, couple assists, a steal. And I'm about to look at his 3-point percentage now. Like I think he shot the three really good. I mean, he shot 36%. That's decent. That's okay. But I think he improved a lot. Like, and maybe next year he could be a most improved candidate. So I think Trey Murphy deserved that.
Yeah, Trey Murphy, yeah, he was hooping this season. I think that was a big part of the reason why they let Ingram go, because how he played throughout the course of the year. Yeah, he might be a candidate for most improved. Because now he's gonna start next year for sure. So
Unless they get Cooper Flag.
yeah, unless they get Cooper.
Because you would either have to put or
They
unless you
still
start all
you put
three.
Herb on the bench.
Well, is CJ still there?
Most likely, yeah.
Okay, so CJ, so we got CJ, hypothetically, Herb or Trey, whichever 2-3. Cooper, Zion starting. Well, according to rumors, they're trying to get rid of him, so we don't know. But we're just hypothetically. Now, I think, Loki, Herb might have to go to the bench. He might have to. I feel like he might have to because you need a center, bro. And you was on Willie Green all year. Talking about they're gonna go out there with no center. So you need to play a center. So I mean, someone gotta go to the bench. Someone gotta go to the bench.
But another disappointing player that
Lamar Lewis, gentleman. What's up? What's up?
I got Bam Adebayo. Bam, he was very disappointing this season. He came back from the Olympics. We thought that he was usually players that come back from the Olympics, they have a better season. Everything in the statistical categories go up, but for Bam, it was opposite. He went down. Last year, he was averaging 19, 10, and 4. This year, he was averaging 18, 9, and 4. So, I mean, yeah, it's not that big of a difference, but you would think that with Jimmy missing most of the season and you being the focal point of the offense and quote unquote their best player now, he would have took that jump and got over 20 points per game. But he didn't. He regressed this season. I don't know if that was because of the whole Jimmy thing and they thought Jimmy was going to come back. And so they just did enough to coast. I don't know what it was, but Bam was very disappointing this season.
Another disappointment. I'm gonna say Klay Thompson. I thought Klay Thompson definitely had a disappointment first season. Now, could Luka had played a part? Because obviously it's kind of different when, especially like play styles. I think Luka and Klay fit perfectly together. And you go to say Kyrie is still great, but him and Luka are two different. Kyrie is not gonna like set Klay up, at least not like Luka. Like Kyrie can still pass the ball, but he's not like Luka passing the ball. But Klay Thompson, I think it came over there, will at least probably be the third option. And it's like he really wasn't. I felt like he's a role player, don't get me wrong, but he looked like a legit role player. Like I felt like I didn't see no improvement. He only gave me 14 points. I think coming into the year, I would probably say we thought, well, at least me, I thought he would have at least 18, maybe 18 points per
Same thing
game.
he did in Golden State.
Yeah, like I thought he would do like that, but he only gave me 14 points per game. He shot 39% from three. That's still good. But I felt like he really disappointed. Like last year he gave 17, especially with all the turmoil in Golden State. Then the year before that, 21. Thought we was gonna get that type of Klay Thompson at least, but we did it. And Klay Thompson, maybe next year he bounces back. But this year, he was not good. He was not good for the Mavericks.
A player that I got for exceeding, Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, I knew Karl Anthony Towns after that trade was going to play better just because of how he played when they had Thibodeau in Minnesota, but I didn't expect him to be I don't think he's the rebounding leader now, but at one point during the season he was the rebound leader. I didn't expect him to go because last year he averaged 21 and 8, and now he jumped it up to 24 and 12. I didn't expect him to rebound as well. I didn't expect him to play this aggressively, but he exceeded my expectations. I thought he was gonna do the same that he did in Minnesota, that 21 and 8, but he played above that.
Another guy exceeding expectations. Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey was good, especially at the end of the year. Josh Giddey was really good for the Bulls. I'm not gonna lie, and he's probably gonna get a contract extension from the Bulls. Well, they kind of have no choice but to give him because you don't have anybody, so you got no choice. But I think Josh Giddey. I remember when we did like our hot takes for players, and I remember I was like Josh Giddey would. I think I said he would not average triple double, but at least close. I think he averaged like I'm gonna say 16 and probably
14,
like
8,
7,
and
7. That's what he averaged.
14, 8, and 7.
Exact. Well, almost. I mean, like, bro, I knew he was gonna be the primary ball handler. He's a decent rebounder. His defense is not good, but I think he played really good. I think after like the All-Star break, he averaged like 20 something and like 9 and like 9, something like that. Like he was really good. And and Josh Giddey deserves his credit. I know he did all that other stuff last year, but just strictly basketball, he was good for the Bulls. I think he was really good, and he might be a bright spot for them. So, I'm giving Josh Giddey his flowers. He was hooping this year.
A player that I got for being disappointing this year, Tyrese Halliburton. Last year, Tyrese Halliburton went crazy. He was averaging 20 and 10. I think he was the assist leader last year. And then now this year he dropped down to 18 and 9. I think everybody thought that Tyrese stats would have increased from last year. Probably I like how I think Trey's averaging like 24 and like 11 or 12 or something like that. I thought Tyrese was going to do that. I thought Tyrese was going to jump up to at least like 23, 24 and like 11 or 12 assists. But he got figured out this year. A lot of teams figured out how to play him and what's his favorite moves and things of that nature. So he got to go back in the lab. He got to have a bounce back year next year.
I mean, I'm convinced Tyrese is just not going to drop 25 points. I don't think that's him. I think he's always going to give me at least 20 and like 10. I don't expect him to drop 20, average 25 at least. But that's all I'm going to say for that. But I will say another player that's disappointing, Bradley Beal. I will say Bradley Beal has been very disappointing just the first 2 years in Phoenix. A lot of people, including me, thought they could potentially maybe win a championship with that team. With Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Booker, and the fit just doesn't look good. And 17 points. I think we expected more. I know you would take a sacrifice, but I didn't expect 17 points per game from a guy that was a 30-point scorer in Washington. Then people go say, that's empty calories. He was just over there Washington losing, yada yada yada, whatever. But he's better than that. He's better than that. Like this year, he only attempted 13 shots. And at least his last 2 years with the Wizards, he was at least attempted 19, 17. Now he drops to 13. I feel like you got to be better than that. But maybe this year, if Kevin Durant is traded, he might that might go up to close to 20 this year. But just strictly off this year, Bradley Beal he wasn't good, and he was always hurt. Like every time you look up, Bradley Beal was hurt, so he wasn't playing good, and he was hurt. Nah, bro, you on the disappointment list.
Well, I don't have any more players, but I got teams.
Go ahead.
As
Go
far
ahead
as
with the teams.
as far as teams that exceeded expectations, the Warriors. I did not think the Warriors were going to be a playoff team. I didn't even think if they did make it, they was going to be a play in, and not make the playoffs at all. But since they got Jimmy, they turned their entire season around, and now they could potentially move on to the second round.
Who would have thought that they would get Jimmy Butler, though? Who would have thought that? Because if they didn't get Jimmy, half of your prediction, because I think you said the Spurs would make the
We'll
playoffs
make it.
before the
Yeah.
Warriors. So low key, half the prediction probably would have been right because if they had traded Jimmy, they would have been in the gutter. And they probably make play it, but like you said, they probably don't make it. But it's kind of hard, but I get it. Like, yeah, you can say they exceed expectations because we come in the year with the Warriors and we like, they still got Steph, they still got Draymond. We thought Kuminga was gonna be the third best player. We was wrong. I know I was wrong, and we thought they would be better, but they were not good. It showed that they wasn't good. You trade for Jimmy Butler, now you look like one of the best teams in the league during that time. And you have exceeded expectations. You go from basically not making the playoffs to potentially might go to the Western Conference Finals or maybe even a final. So, yes, I agree. They have exceeded expectations based off that. They got lucky with Jimmy Butler, man. They got lucky with Jimmy Butler. Another player that is disappointing to me is Zion Williamson. Another year, Zion Williamson hurt. Another year of us not seeing what he could potentially do. Another year of him not making the playoffs. Because I swear, I'm like, man, they got a good team. They could potentially win 40-something games. But I did not predict they would be helped. I did not predict everybody was going to get hurt. But Zion just doesn't stay healthy, bro. And I think we going to come in the year again and say, hey, man, we hope and pray Zion healthy. Knock on wood. But when Zion plays, he's great. But we don't see a lot of greatness from him because he's always hurt. So Zion is basically up there with LaMelo as the disappointment. Can't stay healthy, bro.
Do we gotta give Zion that Kawhi treatment? Like he actually let him play like 30, 40 games and let him sit most games so we can have him for the playoffs?
I don't know because with Kawhi Leonard, we seen him. He plays this year. He's healthy. I'm giving him that. He's healthy this year. But we saw it like the last 2 years, they have let him play. He gets hurt. Then they did rest him, and he still got hurt. So I don't know what to do with Zion. I really don't know what to do. I mean, honestly, I feel like just let him play, bro. Like, you gotta just let him play. Because this year they sat him out in back-to-backs. But I don't know. I really don't know what to do with him. If it was up to me, I'll just let the dude play. But it just depends on the coach. It depends on what Willie Green wants to do. Or if he gets traded to whatever team, it depends on what that coach want to do. It just depends. It depends on management. But I would let him play. I just let the guy play and just pray he doesn't get hurt.
A team that was disappointing, the Sacramento Kings. Coming in before Fox got traded, and DeMar signed there, we thought that the Kings would take the next step, and probably fight for a playoff spot for a 6 seed or something like that because they had a good team. They had nice pieces around them, but they started the season off slow. Then they traded De'Aaron Fox and got Zach LaVine, and that didn't really do anything. So yeah, Sacramento Kings were highly disappointing this season.
Bro, I look at the Kings and I'm like, so the league looks at every team. Every team looks at every other team and evaluates and looks at the players, management, or whatever. The Kings saw that DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine did absolutely nothing, but brought the same two guys in Sacramento and thought it was gonna do something. What? That's just so dumb to me. Like they're the same dude. I don't think it was coaching. I think the team was just bad. I think the teams were just bad. Like the Kings were bad. And shout out to Doug Christie for getting an extension because you wanted the man gone.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't think they was going. I think it's better coaches out there than him.
Like who?
Taylor Jenkins, Mike Malone. Come on,
I don't think they wanted them, bro. I don't think. I think those guys are looking at something else. But Mike Malone he coached at Sacramento. They didn't do anything when he was there, though. They didn't do nothing. Them teams were bad. And what if they don't want to go to, bro? The Kings are a terrible franchise. If I'm a coach, especially if I'm an established coach, Now, I can understand if you're a brand new coach, you could take whatever job gives you the opportunity. But Mike Malone, established, won a championship. Taylor Jenkins, established coach who has had good years with the Grizzlies. Why would I want to go to a weaker team? I want to go to a team that's that's at least close to being a contender. The Kings are not a contender. At least right now, they're not a contender. I wouldn't want to go there. And you know how it is, man. They be recycling these coaches, bro. Like, stick with Doug Christie. See what he do with a full season. I wouldn't be shocked. We in May? I would not be shocked if next year they fired a man after giving him the extension. I would not be shocked, bro. It's the Kings. I would. Bro, they just did it with Mike Brown. Mike Brown made the team relevant. They got rid of him. Like, what? I wouldn't be shocked if they did that, bro. It's the Kings. They're a terrible organization. They are a bad organization. Another guy that exceeded my expectations. My guy, Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole, man. Hey, man, the Wizards was bad. We all know they was bad. But last year, Jordan Poole was terrible. It was terrible last year. But this year, hey, man, Jordan Poole stepped it up, man. He was out there hooping for that weak team, man. Gave me 20 points, little 5 assists, 3 rebounds. It's better than what he did last year. I know a lot of people thought he wasn't going to do nothing. But I was like, Jordan Poole, he going to play better. He going to play better because last year, he was BSing. He was BSing out there. But Jordan Poole is up there. He exceeded my expectations for this year. Jordan Poole, you my guy, man. You my guy,
man. A player or a team? Well, really, the team itself. The Rockets, they exceeded expectations for sure. I mean, I don't think they played decent last year, but I don't think anybody saw them as number 2 in the West. If anything, people definitely saw them probably making the playoffs or playing for sure, but they didn't see number 2 in the West, and that's all a part of a man stepping up. Him emerging. He's averaging like 14 points now. I think last year he was averaging like 7 or 6 or something like that, and he jumped it up to like 14. So his emergence and their defense this year, got them to where they are now. So they definitely exceeded expectations.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. I said they would be a top 4 seed, but I did not predict top 2. I don't care who. If you could be the biggest Rockets fan, I think a lot of them will probably say, "Oh, we knew we would be better." But not a top 2 seed in the Western Conference, especially we talk about the West, how it's up for grabs, anybody can win it. So who thought a young team in the Houston Rockets would be up there, potentially might beat the Golden State Warriors, but just the fact that they're in the top 2 seed, and like you said, it's because of Amen Thompson taking the lead. Regular season wise, Jalen Green was okay. Sengun was good. Sengun was good. And obviously, Fred was okay. Dylan Brooks was okay. But I just think year 2 of a development, it helped them reach the next level. And I think a lot of people forget this is really the same team from last year. They didn't go out and get nobody really new. It's not like they got a new role player or a star player. This is the same exact team from last year. It's literally same exact team. It's just Steven Adams, but he was already on the team. He just didn't play really. So he's basically like your addition. He's been great for them, and especially in the playoffs. So yes, I agree. They definitely exceeded everybody's expectations. Like no one thought the Rockets were gonna be this. Shout out to the Rockets, man. We're gonna win Game 6 tomorrow, man. That's all I'm gonna say, man. That's all I'm gonna say, man. If you don't got nobody else, this is my last guy. Austin Reeves. Gonna talk about him later, obviously, but this is not from now. This is just basically kind of the regular season. Regular season, Austin Reeves stepped it up. He was the best third option in the league. Now, I don't know. But at that time, he was the third best option in the league, man. He was giving you like 20 plus points. He stepped it up. Like, I think when AD was out, that's when he really stepped it up. And then once Luka came, he took his game to another level. And Austin Reeves, I think he's getting a lot of credit. Not now though, but at that time, he getting a lot of credit because he played really good, especially when either Luka was out, or LeBron was out. Man was balling, bro. That white boy can hoop. That white boy can hoop. So Austin Reeves definitely exceeded expectations, at least during the regular season.
Yeah, I ain't got nobody else.
All right, yeah. Let's get into these playoffs. Let's start with the East. So let's start with the Cavs and the Miami Heat. Obviously, the Cavs sweep the Heat 4-0. The average margin of victory was like plus 30-some points. But what are your thoughts on the Cavs and the Miami Heat series, even though it was only 4 games?
Well, I think we both knew, a majority of people who watch basketball knew that the Cavs was going to sweep them. I mean, people probably got the Heat winning 1 game, but for the most part, that was the Cavs series to lose. I didn't expect Miami to come out that last game and give a stinker like that. I don't think nobody expected that, bro. I thought they was gonna come out, fight hard, and at least get 1 game and lose the next game. But they didn't even do that at all, bro. They were highly disappointed. This playoff series showed that Bam can't be your best player. It showed that Tyler Hero can't be your best player. They need a superstar, and Pat Riley has to figure out how to put pieces on one, how to get a superstar or a star player or a number 1 option, and he has to figure out how to rebuild this team because this team isn't good. Yeah, they play hard and they play good defense, but you can't score. You can't score at all. So yeah, Pat Riley has a lot of decisions to make this offseason.
I'm not shocked they got blown out. I'm shocked they lost by 50 though. I felt, bro, every game was a blowout because I think they in the first, in the third, in game 3 they lost by 30. They lost by 30 something, and then in game 4 you basically quit. Like we know, bro. The comments about Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero, you are my favorite Caucasian player in the NBA. Why are you bringing up Jimmy Butler talking about we had Jimmy Butler, this series would be different and we wouldn't be a playing team? First of all, Jimmy Butler's not there no more. Why are you thinking of him anyway? You roll with what you got out there. Now it makes it seem like y'all just was really just not good. It looks like it was really Jimmy that was carrying y'all this whole time. Because if you gotta bring up that's like bringing up your ex. Why are you talking about your ex? Like, what we doing? Bruh, like, they quit. I'm not shocked they got blown out. Like, the game was over honestly, the game was over after the first quarter. After the first bucket. Bro, they went up 43-17. And they think they was up by like what?
I was gonna say it was like 32-8 at one point in the first quarter.
Bro, like that series, everybody knew it was free W coupon. Like that was really a buy. That was basically practice for them. No, I forget, no offense. That was practice for the Cavs. Let's just basically, it's like, hey y'all, man. It's like you going up to a party like, hey man, y'all just trying to play against our team, man. We just trying to get in shape, man. That's what they did. They just hooped out there, took care of business, and now they got almost a week off. And now they're gonna have a date with the Pacers, and we'll get into that later. But the Cavs are dominant. They show what they can do. Now, it is a weak team, and some people might say, man, they got to play against some better competition. Then we can see what they can do. That's true. I understand that. But at the same time, bro, they just showed their dominance on both ends of the floor, on offense and defense. Their defense was great. Their offense was great. You can honestly say their best player was probably Davion Mitchell low-key. And that's pretty bad. Yeah. I love Tyler Hero. I like Bam. They weren't. Well, Tyler Hero was good, and you said earlier Bam was a disappointment. He kind of was on the offensive end. I think he was. Terry Rozier was not good all year. He was trash. And Jaime Jaquez, who had a good rookie year last year, literally regressed really badly. He didn't even play this series. He was bad. Like, he was bad the whole year. And we can basically get into it now. What do the Heat really need to get back to, obviously not the big 3 era with LeBron and Wade and Bosh, but what can they do to get back to just being another good team again? What do they need to do?
Well, first off, they gotta re-sign Davion Mitchell because I think he's a restricted free agent
Okay.
at the end of this season. So they gotta re-sign him. And then Duncan Robinson, I think he can either opt in or opt out of his contract. He's most likely gonna opt in, but they got to get rid of him. They got to find a way to make some moves because they really don't have no trade pieces besides what Duncan Robinson and maybe Jaime. Um, but other
Terry
than that,
Rozier.
you really don't have no Terry Rozier. But who's gonna want him? Um, he's getting paid 24 million a year, and he barely did anything this year. But so it's like you barely had any trade pieces. But Pat Riley has to figure out something. He has to figure out a way to get talent to that team. That's the only way they're gonna be relevant again because their defense is gonna always be good, but it's their offense. So they got to get some type of offensive firepower to help Bam and Tyler Hero.
It goes. I remember I asked you. I want to say it was like a month ago, and I was like, "Do they need a point guard?" You still feel like they don't really need a point guard? You still
No,
feel that way?
Davion Mitchell
Mhm.
showed that he could play point. He showed that he
Okay.
could play point and be a lead guard and a starting lead guard in his team. Because first off, his defense is amazing.
Okay.
I think he averaged over like 5 assists for that series. So yeah, I'm cool with Davion Mitchell being my lead guard.
Okay. So what they need to do, I do think they need another legit score, because I guess it goes back to what I said about Tyrese. Tyrese is not going to give you 25 points. I don't think that's him. And I think Bam is just not going to be this 23, 4 per game score. I just think that's just not him. I think he could give you 20 points, give you like almost close to 10 rebounds, give you his passing is good for a big man. His passing is good. So he's going to give you at least 4 or 5 assists, and he's going to play great defense. And Andrew Wiggins, I thought it was like it was a decent get back from the Jimmy Butler trade. But Andrew Wiggins he can't be like my second scorer. He could be like my third. But if Tyler Hero say isn't going that night, Andrew Wiggins, I gotta depend on you to help with the scoring. I don't think he's that guy. I just don't. I think he's a good player, but he's just not that guy. And they probably need another scorer. You want Khalil Ware to take, he had a good rookie year. He had a good rookie year. So the second year he takes the next step, and you gotta get that bench together. That bench is not good. It's not a good bench. Like your best bench player really is probably Hayward Highsmith or Duncan Robinson. Those are not like players I like to depend on every night, but those ain't good players. So you gotta try and get the bench. You gotta pray that Pat Riley gets a deal done. I have no faith, honestly. Little note, once we get to like what's next for Giannis, I have trades that I came up with yesterday on Fanspo. I could not find a trade for Giannis for the Heat, bro. I couldn't do it. Like none of the stuff worked. Like just one for one, like
Mhm.
just the Bucks and the Heat. I couldn't do nothing. They probably gonna have to get a third team because the salaries just don't match. Like Duncan Robinson is making a lot of bread. Like you say, he probably opts in. Terry Rozier is making 20 something million, bro. Jesus Christ, man, he was bad. He was bad. But they just need another score. They need another score, especially if you're gonna go into say next year without another star. You need to at least get another score to go with Tyler Hero, so y'all can
Mhm.
at least be good. But at the same time, you need talent in this league, bro. They're not a talented team. They go off the Heat culture. We play and fight hard, bro. But once again, I'm always gonna say it. That stuff can only get you so far. It can only get you so far, and it's shown like this year. That can't get me nowhere. So if you're a Heat fan, you better hope Pat Riley do something. Because now I'm seeing a lot of people say Pat Riley got to go. I actually might not disagree with them. He probably do need to go. Like it's crazy how it's Miami South Beach, but again, LeBron went there, but I don't think that was Pat Riley. I think it was more
Nah,
Wade and
D
Bosh.
Wade. Yeah.
And Jimmy Butler came. So basically, what really good player signed with them? Jimmy Butler, but what other good player has signed with them? Nobody. Nobody goes there. But They need to do something, or they're going to be another wash potential player team, and then we're going to get another series next year. Them getting smacked 4-0. But this series was embarrassing. This was worse than the
Yeah.
Grizzlies series. At least I can say the Grizzlies fall in game 3 and 4. I can at least say that. I can say that. They was up by 30 in game 3, and in game 4 with no job, they put up a fight. The Cavs, the Heat didn't put up a fight in the 2 games at home. You got to be by 30 and 55 points. That's embarrassing.
They
That's
fought
really
one game. That second game they fought. They fought hard that second game. They could have won that second game.
that game. Okay, but you get 20 piece in game 1, you get 30 piece in game 3, and you get 50 piece in game 4. That one game y'all fought that don't move me enough. That don't move me. Like I said, the Grizzlies, they got 50 piece in game 1. You got beat by 19 in game 2. You was up by 30 in game 3 and lost. But then in game 4, at least you fought. They didn't go out without a fight, at least. The Cavs, not the Cavs, the Heat built their ass. Real talk, built their ass. Like, bro, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing, bro.
Hey, you seen that nigga Dan was tired. I mean, he didn't say nothing once they got eliminated. He didn't say not one thing.
I mean, he keeps saying that we didn't have our best player. You can't use that excuse when the guy ain't on your team no more. I can understand if he was on your team but injured. I would give you that. Like, hey, Jimmy Butler was hurt. That's why we got blown out. Jimmy Butler's not on your team. Y'all was at full
That man
strength.
been gone for a minute. He been gone for a
Exactly.
decent little minute.
Exactly. So you can't use that excuse of we didn't have our best player. Brother, you did have your best player in Tyler Hero. He's your best player. So you did have your best player. So can't use that excuse, bro. Y'all just not a good team. You guys are weak. But let's move on to the 2-7 matchup. The Boston Celtics and the Orlando Magic. The Celtics beat the Magic 4-1. The Magic won game 3 because last time we talked, it was only 2 games. So we seen 3 games. Game 3, the Magic won by 2 points. Celtics won by, I think, 9 points in game 4. Then they 30-pieced them in game 5 and ended it. But what are your takeaways from this series? Like, what are your thoughts?
They really missed. Well, one thing, like the Miami Heat, the Orlando Magic, they gonna fight. Even though the Heat didn't fight against the Cavs, but the Magic they tried to make it grimy. They tried to make it a sloppy game, so they can stay in it. But that series showed me that they missed Jalen Suggs. They really needed him out there. They still would have lost, but they needed him, and they need more scoring. They need more shooting. I don't think Wendell is it as a starter center, so they need to go get another center. He's serviceable, but I don't really think he's the focal point as far as center. And anchoring your defense. I think they can go get something better than that, but they need some more shooting because Franz can't throw a ball into the ocean. Paulo needs to go in this offseason and he needs to work with Melo because there was a lot of times throughout that series, Paulo would have like Derek White or somebody small on him at the end of the shot clock. And instead of shooting, he passed it. Like, don't get me wrong, he killed that series, but there was moments throughout the game where he needed to be more selfish, and take a shot himself. But I think he needs to go in the lab, work with Melo this off season, and work on this 3-point some more because they need shooting bad, really, really bad.
I got a question. Can Anthony Black start for you? If let's just hypothetically say they don't get a Kobe White or Anthony Simons, hypothetically, is it time for Anthony Black to start for them, like next to KCP, I guess, in the backcourt? Well, Jalen Suggs in the backcourt. Sorry, Jalen Suggs in the backcourt. Or he continues to come off the bench.
I want to say yeah because I want to say I'm leaning towards yeah, but it's like it's 50-50 yeah and no. Yeah, because he's 6'6", he's great defensively. It's just his 3-point shot. His shot looked like it improved a little bit, but not too much. But if he improves his 3-point shot, then yeah, I'll say he should start. because like I said, he's big, he's long, he's athletic. And so you could play him on other teams' lead guards and he can slow them down a little bit. But if that 3-point shot doesn't improve, he has to stay on the bench.
Okay.
You can't be a starting point guard in the league and can't shoot the three. You cannot.
Who is the starting point guard that can't shoot the three? Who is one? Off the top of my head.
You can't think of nobody. Only other person I could think of was Markelle Fultz, but he don't start no more. That's the only other person I can think of.
I'm thinking of starting. Ooh. A guy that can't shoot the starting point guard that can't shoot the three. That's interesting. Honestly, I think like you said, I think every point guard low-key can really hit the three. I don't think there's a point guard out there that can't shoot it or can't hit a three, really. Yeah, I'm looking through teams and then it pops up in my head. Yeah, I think every type of point guard can really hit the three. Okay.
Man, so that's why Jalen Suggs worked with them at the point because he could hit the three. So yeah, if Anthony Black can improve his 3-point percentage, then yeah, I'll say start him. But if not, he gotta stay on the bench.
With this series, I feel like we thought the Celtics. I did say the Celtics would sweep them. I kind of cut that out in the other video, but that's neither here or there. The Magic won a game, and it was all defense. I do think this was a physical, gritty type game. And Jason Tatum said it at the end of Game 5 post game, not verbatim, but he basically said that they played a different style and we played to their style, and we could play with any type of style because we got so many other good players. He actually probably right. He said they adjusted to their style and they were very physical with them. And I remember you said it when I asked, like, who do you think they should play, either Cavs or Celtics? And you said that they want to face them because they can kind of match up with them a little bit. They got the size to match up with them, and you were right on that. They do got the size, but it comes down to shot makers. They only had 2. The Celtics had 4. That's really what it comes. Well, really like 5. If I'm counting Peyton Pritchard. Really counting Peyton Pritchard. You didn't have Drew Holiday for the last 2 games. Really didn't need him. All you needed was Jason Tatum masterclass games, Jaylen Brown to play good, and Derek White to hit to make good shots, Porzingis to make good shots, Peyton Pritchard to come off the bench. You easily win. I just think the Magic just didn't have the firepower. You really have Franz and Paolo, but who else? I know we wanted Cole Anthony to play, but for some reason, Jamal Mosley just didn't want to play the guy. I still think he should have played at least in the teams. I do believe that. But he didn't play.
Mean, every time that man got in, he was in foul trouble too, though. So I don't know if Jamal, Cole Anthony. So I don't know if Jamal Mosley, when then Cole Anthony is, I think he's like 6'3", 6'2", maybe. So he's small. So they were just gonna take advantage of him. Literally everybody on that team could post him up, from the point guard to the center. So it was like we need the offensive firepower, but they just gonna go down and attack him every single play. So I think that was part of the reason.
Paulo had good games. Franz had good games. Shooting was really bad. And I think they actually, low-key, the Celtics really didn't shoot a lot of threes this series, or they didn't hit a lot in this series. And that goes to Jason Tatum saying we adjusted to their style. I feel like this was just more talent over the other. But I'm going to say this about the Magic. They are, even though they got smoked, they are a good team, and it's only because of injuries. They are a good team because I think me and you had them probably being like a fifth seed coming into the year. Injuries played a part. They go into playing, but this is a good team. They just need a couple of more pieces, and that goes into what should they do this offseason to improve this team. Like we talk about it all the time, they need another scorer, but I want to ask you another question. Should they go after, say, just another scoring type guard, or should they get like a traditional point guard, like hypothetically a Chris Paul or something? What do you think they need more?
Honestly, I'll let Jalen Suggs rock out at the 1 and just go get more shooting. They just need more shooting. Because Paulo and Franz, we've seen that they can do it on their own. We've seen that they can create for others. And then if you got Jalen Suggs is another playmaker that they have. You just need people that's gonna knock down their shots. That's all it is. Because when Paulo and Franz are getting doubled and somebody's wide open in the corner on the wing, you need somebody that's gonna knock down that three. That's really all they need is shooting. That's legit it.
The defense is great. And whatever guard they get, they can make up for, say, their defensive liabilities. Something tells me I feel like they need another like a legit point guard to like set Paulo and Franz up. Because you talked about it like last week. You really don't want Paulo to be like your legit ball handler. Franz is actually probably a better ball handler than him.
Yeah, he is. He is.
But it's like, at least for me, it might be better if someone can put them in position to score and to make plays for, say, others. Like Chris Paul is a free agent, but there's a chance Spurs might sign him back. Chris Paul on the Magic isn't the worst. Because Chris Paul played all 82 games this year, and you don't need him to go crazy. You just need him to make things easier for Paulo and Franz. But if somehow they get, say, a Kobe White or Anthony Simons, I'm definitely not upset. I think that would be tremendous for them. But
Anthony is the piece. That's the piece. That's the one.
You think that's the
Because
guy?
he's big. That's legit the guy. He's
That's the
big for a guard. He can shoot the ball very well. He's not a liability on defense either, so it's not like you got to hide him. So that's the guy. That's the guy.
And I agree. They just signed Wendell to an extension. Wendell is the type of guy that he really can't be my starter. Like, I think he could be my center if my starting center goes out for, say, a month. I'm cool with Wendell being my center for a month. But for the whole 82 games, I can't roll with it, man. I can't roll with it. I think they need to go out there and get, I don't know what like really good bigs are out there. Off the top of my head in free agency, I know Capella's out there. Valanciunas might be up for a trade, but they just need somebody else that's not Wendell to at least start. He could be my backup, but to start, no.
They need a guy like Messi or a Nick Claxton, a guy that's gonna play D, rebound, and be a lob threat. Because if they had that lob threat, well, see, the way they team is built is kind of weird because it's like Wendell was shooting threes because they needed shooters out there. But if they get shooters, I say only big that they just need like a lob defensive big because now you got Paulo coming downhill and now they're gonna have to step up on Paulo. Now you got a lob catching big, get easy 2 points like that. Because the Magic problem, they can never score easily. It was always tough twos. It was always tough buckets. They can never generate any easy baskets.
For a guy Wendell out there shooting threes, he shot really bad. He shot 23% from three this year. I get it. Like you said, we need 3-point shooters, but Jesus Christ, brother. He literally attempted 2, and he basically was 0.5 for 2 to 2.3 attempts. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. I know we don't have the shooters, but Jesus Christ.
And then he only, as my big man, as my start, he's 6'10". As my starting big man, you only giving me 7 rebounds. I need at least a double-double from you every night. I need at least a double-double.
Bro, I feel like he like 6'8" or 6'9". Like he looked kind of small out there, low key. Look, man, this is a Bulls pick, bro.
And it's crazy because coming in from Duke, they said he was great defensively. He had potential to, stretch out and shoot the 3 ball. But so far, Wendell hasn't shown any of that. I mean, he's shown flashes, but to be consistently that good, I haven't seen it.
I think they need to upgrade their bench. I think they need to upgrade their bench, like, cause you got Anthony Black, we think highly of him. Caleb Houston, yeah. Gary Harris, we know what Gary is now. We know what he is. Cole Anthony, I mean, Cole Anthony is just a spark. He's just a guy that's a streaky guy. He's a streaky scorer. He gonna give you that, like we saw against a player. He gave you that great playing game. Ain't seen nothing since. Goga Bataze,
He
I
decent.
mean,
Goga decent. Goga's
for a
decent.
backup, he's okay. Tristan Da Silva, he should have an expanded role in year 2. And Jonathan Isaac. Remember, Jonathan Isaac had that great year. He tore his ACL. He really ain't been like that since. I feel like because they played him at center. I thought they would kind of play him as the backup center. He's great defensively. Offense ain't the greatest though, and he can't shoot. So it's like, what do we do with that? Honestly, I would try to trade him. I would try to trade Jonathan Isaac. Try to get somebody back. Probably another shooter, like you said. I'll probably get rid of him. Maybe like add Jonathan Isaac. Maybe a Cole Anthony. Try to get whoever out there, That's what I would try. I try to get rid of him. Because he's not going to start anymore because you already got your forwards in Franz and Paulo. So it's like, what do you need him for?
Lately, I was gonna say only thing I can think of is him playing backup center role. Because he can shoot. I think his career high shooting was what year was this? It was 2022, 2023 season. He shot 40% from the 3. And then he shot 37%. Yeah, 2022, 2023.
How many games he played that year?
11. Only 11. But that was his best year. And then the year after that, he played 58 games and he shot 37%.
That's not bad. How many attempts? What, like 2 or 3?
No, 1. Well, yeah, 2, 1.9. So you could say 2. And he hit like 1.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, I mean, he can stretch the floor a little bit. It's just that he's never healthy. This year was the most, besides his second year, it was the most games he played with 71.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's really good for him. I still get rid of him, though. I still get rid of him. Because he can't do nothing. I need something back like, send him over there to Portland. We talked, didn't you? Hey, it's crazy because when we talked about what teams had the brightest future, you said they needed a forward. You forgot about Denny Avdia. You forgot about him. But maybe still send Jonathan Isaac over there.
I didn't forget about Denny. They still need somebody else.
You didn't bring him up, though, when we was talking about it. You didn't bring him up. You didn't bring him up. That's why I was like, I guess you forgot about him, but you say you didn't. But you just didn't bring him up when we talked about it. Because I was like, they definitely have a forward in Denny Avdia. He had a really good year for them.
No, they need another one, Jay. They need somebody else to put next to him.
Sumani Kumara. What about him?
He's limited offensively. I don't know. It's tough over there. It's because he's limited offensively, and then Danny isn't really like a go-to. He can score. Don't get me wrong. He's had a lot of 30-point games, but do you want him to be your go-to scorer?
No, because I mean, we hope that maybe Scoot and Shaden could be those go-to scorers.
Because if Scoot doesn't live up to the hype, it's only scores that you're gonna have in that lineup. It's probably, Danny, Shaden Sharp, and then the rest are gonna be there for defensive purposes. That's gonna be like the Orlando Magic all over.
Yeah. Corey Joseph getting starter minutes. It's like, bro, Corey Joseph is there just to mentor. But the fact that he has to play is actually pretty sad. Not gonna lie. So I think they need, like you said, more shooting. They need to fix that bench. If they can fix that bench, I think they'll be good. I think they'll be okay, and we can see, a team that could potentially be a top 5 seed, maybe even top 4. You never know. Because as long as Paulo and Franz out there, bro, this is Paulo and Franz is basically what Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown was when they were young. It's the same thing, bro. Because Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown is like, we don't know what they can be. They haven't won. Now, maybe Paulo and Franz could potentially win in the future. It took time for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. It took 6-7 years for them to win. So it's just got to take time for Paulo and Franz, especially if the Magic could put the good pieces around them. They could be scary. They could really be scary in the East. And luckily they are in the East because it's way easier over there. But they got some stuff to do. It's not the Miami Heat bad, but they got some stuff to do. All right. let's start with one of the best series of the playoffs, the Detroit Pistons and the New York Knicks. The last time we spoke, the series was tied 1-1. The Knicks won both games in Detroit. A questionable foul call. Josh Hart fouled Tim Hardaway Jr. They did not call it, but at the end, they said he did foul him. And then in game 5, the Detroit Pistons won another game at MSG. What are your thoughts on this series? The Detroit guy. What are your thoughts?
First, Detroit, this series supposed to have been over with. If we being honest, they supposed to win the first game. They won the second game. The fourth game, Cat came up fucking clutch. I said, bro, that man. First off, well, let me finish first. Game 4, Cat came up clutch. They were supposed to win that. That would have been 3-1, and then they won the last game 5, so that would have been 4-1. This series supposed to have been over with, but they're a young team. Cat has definitely stepped up since game 2. Game 4 was a really big game for him. He hit that tough fadeaway over Jalen Duran, and then he hit that tough step back from the hash mark. I didn't even think it was gonna go in. To be honest, I thought it was gonna be short, but he hit it all net. But so far in the series, Cade has to stop turning the ball over. I think he's averaging like 5 turnovers, like 4 or 5 turnovers. That's too many turnovers in the playoffs. And then game 5, no, what was it? Game 4, when Cat hit that big shot, they had opportunities. K had 2 opportunities to, win. I think he took 2 mid-ranges and missed. And then he turned the ball over late. And then, they missed that foul call in the corner. But it just shows, they're young. They're a young team. They had, late game mistakes. This their first. Most of them is their first time in the playoffs, so it's a learning experience. But I still got them pulling out at 7. I still got it. K just needs to stop turning the ball over.
Yeah, he's averaging 5.8. That's basically 6 turnovers a game. That's crazy. That's terrible. No, I agree. Cap didn't play good. Actually, I'm just gonna be honest. No one played good in game 5 on the Knicks. I don't think no one really played that good. But to go back to the games at home, bro, these games, every game has been close. Every single, like if you want to take away from game 1, they go on a 20-something old run and they win by I think like 11. Okay, cool. But honestly, every game has been close. It's literally come down to the last possession. And I know you and a lot of people thought they had a chance, but to think that it's like the Knicks and the Pistons would literally go down to the wire every single game, I don't think a lot of people believe that.
I did, Jay. I thought it was gonna be close every game.
Wow, I didn't think that.
I thought it was gonna be close every game.
I did not think that. And the unsung hero in this series, I think Dennis Schroeder deserves a lot of credit. I think he deserves a lot of credit. He hit that big shot at, what was that, game 2 when they won? I think he hit that big shot in game 2. He has hit a lot of big 3. Okay, yeah, 3. He has hit a lot of big.
No, I'm saying that the 3-point shot. That 3
oh,
that
okay, my bad. Yeah. I think Dennis Schroeder has been really good addition for them, man. He was kind of like, I don't want to say the throw in, but he kind of was in that big trade for Jimmy Butler, and they just threw him in Detroit. And I think you said at the time, this is the guy they need. They need like a backup point guard who can score, and he's giving them that in the playoffs. And Dennis Schroeder has playoff experience, so he knows like what's going on. He knows how to do it in this environment. Asur Thompson had a really good game in game 5. A really good game. Him and his brother. Like, them dudes, man, they be showing me something every day. Like, bro, they're like that. I think Tobias Harris, this is what we thought of Tobias Harris, to be like that second guy, even though he sold me in one of those games. But besides that, he has played pretty good for them. I do need Malik Beasley to step it up. Yeah. I think some games he hasn't been like that. Tim Hardaway is like a shooter. If he can't hit the 3, he don't do nothing. But when he does hit the 3, he on one. The Knicks, again, they rely on Jalen Brunson too much. They do. They rely on him too much, bro. I said it last time. I said, Jalen Brunson, save us. That's exactly what they doing, bro. Mikal Bridges. Man.
He
That
has
trade
been
looking.
irrelevant this series. He's been
That trade
irrelevant.
looks. That trade looks bad. That trade looks worse and worse every day. Every time I look at Mikal Bridges, I just be like, they gave up 5 first-round picks for you. That's crazy. But I need an OG game. I need him to play a little bit better. He played good in game 2, in game 5. But Cat did play good. This was actually the Jalen Brunson game that he played bad, and the Pistons took advantage of the Jalen Brunson game because every other time he'd been scoring 30 something, but they took advantage of the Jalen Brunson game that he was bad in. And again, the bench is irrelevant. Mitchell Robinson had a good game off the bench. He had 13-11 off the bench. Good for him. But that bench is irrelevant, bro. We knew this was going to happen. Majority of the stars are going to play close to 40 minutes. But I'm giving credit to the Pistons, bro. I know I had Knicks in 6. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I think they're gonna win today. I really do believe they're gonna win today. And I think it's going. Yes, I do. I believe they are going to win today, and we're gonna go right back to MSG, and it's gonna be cracking it in the Garden. I really believe that, bro. This series has been so good. Like, I thought it would be good, but I didn't think it was gonna be this. I didn't think it was gonna be this.
From what I've seen, I think if the Pistons, first and foremost, we need Isaiah Stewart. He needs to come back because Paul Reed is too small, bro. Literally, when Mitchell Robinson comes in the game, he's abusing Paul Reed. Like how like at the free throw line, they boxing each other out and shit like that. Not Paul Reed. Mitchell Robinson is moving Paul Reed like he's like a box or something. Like he's just like a 20-pound dumbbell or something. Like he's moving him with ease. And with Isaiah Stewart, he may not be as tall as Mitchell Robinson, but he's strong and he can box out and he won't get bullied like Paul Reed. So we're really missing Isaiah Stewart. And like you said, he needs to play well and play more consistently and give us not what he did in game 5 because he had 27 or 26 or something like that.
Yeah, 22.
We don't need
22.
22. So we don't really need, we don't need 20 from him every game. But we need at least double digits from him for the next 2 games if we want to close it out. I think that blood clot stuff, it really hurt him this offseason because if you would have had a whole offseason to train and get better, I think we would have seen the same production that we see from a man. So Paul Reed, Isaiah, we need to stop playing him. We need Isaiah Stewart back. I don't know if Isaiah Stewart's playing tonight, but we need him badly.
I think he's questionable for tonight. I could be wrong. They do need another. I've been saying Paul Reed. Like, Paul Reed is small. Paul Reed got to be like 6'9". Gotta be, bro. Gotta be like 6'9", 6'10". He can't handle those dudes. But I'm looking back at game 5, not game 5, game 4. Mikal Bridges, 3 for 12, 8 points. OG, 3 for 13, 8 points. Cat gave you 27. Like you said, hit the big shots down the stretch. Jalen Brunson, another 30 ball. Josh Hart, we know what he gonna do. He give you 14 and 10. The bench, irrelevant. The bench only gave you 5 points. But they're barely squeaking by, bro. Like, I know I saw on ESPN, Monica McNutt, I know she does like radio for the Knicks or whatever. And she said that, if they do lose, it's not really a disappointing season. I kind of damn near want to say yes. I do want to say yes, low key. I will only say it's a disappointing season. Hypothetically, let's just say Boston, right? They had a lot of injuries and they fell down, right? Then they was like the 6th seed or whatever. But then they got healthy. I would kind of give you a pass because that team is stacked. They had injuries. Now they're healthy in the playoffs, so you get smacked by it. I give you that. But this team is inexperienced, young, a young, basically superstar, and you guys are in a battle every single game? Like, what? Like, I don't think a lot of Knicks fans was like, we knew the Pistons was like, ugh, that's scary, but damn, a battle in every game? No, that if y'all lose, It's low-key a disappointing season. Then people go look at Tom Thibodeau, especially when he didn't call that timeout. I kind of give him grace on that. Because I know low-key though, in game 5, when Josh Hart went down, they had 2 timeouts left. I know deep in his head he did not want to call a timeout right then and there. But he had to because Josh Hart got hurt. I don't think he wanted to, but he had to. And then Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart come to the not the bench, but the little sideline thing. He has 1 timeout left, but he really can't use it because you don't know what's gonna happen. So I really can't blame him because if it's a timeout, if you use that timeout, bring your guys in, and let's just hypothetically say you don't got no more, you can't advance the ball. Let's just say the Pistons hit free throws and now you can't advance the ball.
They couldn't foul. They couldn't foul either because then they would have went to the line. So it was like, yeah. I mean, but apart from that, I think Dennis Schroeder has to close, bro. He has to, since Malik Beasley hasn't been like that good, either between Malik Beasley, Hardaway, or Thompson, whoever isn't, playing good that game or, towards the end of that game, that's who needs to get subbed out, and Dennis Schroeder needs to close because not only will that take pressure off for Cade, but now, Dennis Schroeder can still hit. I mean, shoot. He hits big shots, so you're not going to be worried about that. And then you can take pressure off for Cade. And Cade might have less turnover. So I think Dennis Schroeder they need to play that line. Dennis Schroeder, Cade, and then either Malik Beasley or Tim Hardaway with Tobias and Jalen Duran. Jalen Duran has been very good this series too. I don't think people talk about him enough because he's been even though Cat has been killing, he's been playing great defense on Cat. Cat is just great, but he's been playing great defense. He's been rebounding well. He's been passing well. Jalen Duran has been an unsung hero for them.
I think we asked him to rebound, play defense, bro. Like, I know he makes a lot of like dumb fouls and all, but you need him to get some rebounds and just step it up and hit and get like an easy layup or a dunk. He does do that. That's what you need from your big man, especially when all these games come down to the wire. This is giving me like 90s basketball. These are low scoring, hard fought games. And to give credit, this is just the whole playoffs. These playoffs have been very good. And I think it's because these teams just don't like each other. I think all these teams just don't like each other, bro. Because every time I look up, everybody fights somebody. They fighting somebody. When it was the Pacers, Bucks, Pistons, Knicks, we even got a somewhat of a fight with either the Nuggets and the Clippers. Everybody don't like each other. That's what the playoffs are about. Once we hit the playoffs, I don't like you, brother. We may be cool, but I don't fuck with you. I don't like you. And this is what the Pistons, this is giving me like some 90s type basketball. Bro, we got a 94-93 game in the playoffs. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Hey, when you saw when he shot the 3, Tim Hardaway, did you think it was a foul though? Like first thought, like not off replay, but when you first saw, you thought he got fouled?
Because the camera was so far away. I thought Josh Hart just closed out really well. I didn't think it was a foul at first until I seen the replay. But the refs was right there. They should have seen it. Yeah. They should have seen it.
The ref on the baseline was right there. He was right there. So I don't get how you don't call that. And then even Josh Hart said he fouled him.
That game was really physical. They was letting them play. So, but on a 3-point shot like that, you supposed to call that foul. You supposed to. I don't care how physical they've been this entire series or that game. You gotta call a foul, especially that foul, because that affected the whole entire game.
Then the thing is, I get it, but it should have been a foul. They said it should have been a foul, but then you go get them other people to say, how could you call that in a playoff game in the last second? How could you end the game like that on a foul on the 3-point line? Some people are gonna say that they aren't gonna like it. So it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. Like no one can really win.
Bro, this nigga damn near chest bumped the shit out of him in the motherfucking in the corner, bro. Like you gotta call that, bro. This is not the UFC.
Talk about the UFC, but no, though, man. You gotta give the Pistons some credit, bro. Hey, your prediction might come true, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I kind of thought it was over. If the Knicks win tonight, I'm gonna go up in the air low key. I'm gonna still go with Knicks because that was my pick. But the Knicks have shown their 2 games are at MSG. So if they win at home, they're scared to go back into game 7 against the Knicks. Because they won on your floor twice. They're not scared of you guys.
The Pistons will have so much confidence too. I think if they win tonight, I think Malik Beasley gonna have a good game. I think all the others are gonna have a good game. And then it's gonna be Pistons in 7.
We get a K masterclass
Tonight.
Do we?
Hopefully.
Do we get a K
We need it.
masterclass?
We need it.
Cade has been good, bro.
Besides the turnovers, yeah. He's been really good. Do you think that he's still the first 2 games he was the best player on the floor, hands down? But what about now? Through what 6 games? Well, 5 games so far. Is he still the best player on the floor?
I still think it's Jalen Brunson. I still think Jalen Brunson has come up clutch for the Knicks to win these games, bro. Ankle messed up and all, he still has come up clutch. Cade has come up clutch too, bro. I feel like those two are they're even out, bro, in this series. Because I feel like they be going band for band.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just for some reason like the inexperience for the Knicks has played in. Like Cade had a good shot in game 4, he just missed it. He had a really good shot at the elbow.
He had 2 good shots.
He missed it, and it's like I live with that. I live with that. It's just they missed the foul call, but Jalen Brunson down the stretch in game 4, and Karl-Anthony Towns saved him. Bro, Karl-Anthony Towns, he had to hit that shot over the backboard. He had to. Falling out, he had to hit. Bro, that's a clutch shot. You got to give him credit. But in game 6,
Jalen Durant's hand was all in his face, and he's still here. I'm like, damn.
In game 5, they folded though. They had a chance to win, and that game was close throughout. The Pistons just made plays down the stretch, man. That experience, man. They getting better by every single game. Every single game, they're just getting better, getting more experience, man, and it's helping them. Like, I didn't think they was going to win at MSG, but they are. Now they got a chance to go home in a game 6. That crowd going to be rocking. They have a chance to win. Like I said, I'll probably pick them. But it's a great series, man. This is a great freaking series.
To be honest, I ain't gonna lie. You got to keep Dennis Schroeder. Win or lose this series. You got to keep Dennis Schroeder, and Jaden Ivey low-key got to go. I'm not gonna lie to you. He can go to the Magic. They can trade him to the Magic. To be honest, but Jaden Ivey has to go. We really don't need him. You could trade him, and you can get some pieces back in return, and just let Asor develop in in the off season and keep it moving.
Dang, because this is Jaden Ivey 3rd year, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is year 3, so he'll go into year 4. I would like them to keep Dennis Schroeder. It's been great. Jaden Ivey, yeah, you could. He probably needs a change of scenery. He probably does. And it's not his fault. He got hurt. He tore his fibula. Like, it's not his fault. And it's like a fibula takes a long time, so I didn't expect him to come back this year. And they kind of show, like, we kind of don't need you.
Yeah, we don't.
Maybe if they didn't have Dennis Schroeder, I could say that. But they have him now, and he's been good. Veteran presence. He can like there's a game that he can give you 20 off the bench. Like, he can do that. But yeah, man, Pistons, they're a good team, man. They are a really good team, and people scared. Real quick, before we go to the Pacers and Bucks, who do you think is better, Paolo or Cade? I've been thinking about this for a minute. It's hard. It's hard, right? It's hard, man.
It is hard. I'm gonna go Paolo though. And the reason why I'm gonna go Paolo, I think Paolo could be more of a dynamic scorer than Cade can. I think he has the intangibles and the tools to be more of a dynamic scorer than Cade. He's bigger, stronger. He can get buckets easier than Cade can. Shooting, I feel like they about the same. Well, Cade may shoot the three a little bit better, but shooting wise, they about the same. Defensive wise, I say they about the same. Cade's a better passer. Um, Cade's a better ball handler, but I'm gonna still go Paolo. I'm gonna go Paolo.
I feel like they're both even. Like I think they're in that same tier. They're both young, but they're in that same tier. I don't think no one clears the other. Yeah, I've been thinking
Okay,
about this for a minute.
I got some to rebut that. Do you think Cade can get better than what he is now?
I
Because
think
I
he
think
can.
Paolo got a whole nother level to him.
I
I
think they
think
both
Cade
can.
can probably like, I think Cade could probably like increase his scoring. But I feel like Paolo could take his entire game to a whole nother level.
Do I think Paulo can because I think I said it even before like the season started. I said he's a better passer, and I think he's gonna be a better passer. Is he gonna get like that LeBron S type passing? I
No.
don't think so. But I think his passing can be even better than what it is now. I think he
Mm-hmm.
can be a better shooter. He already can get downhill. He already has the face up game. He has the mid range. That's all that's stuff he has. But I do agree with you. He can take his game to the next level. And I think Cade can do the same exact thing, bro. I think Cade can be a better shooter than what he is. I think he could be a better mid-range shooter. He's already a really good passer. He's a decent rebounder for his size. Because what is he like
Mm-hmm.
6'9", almost six
Yeah,
nine or
six
something like
nine.
that? Yeah, so
No,
he's
he's six
already
nine.
like okay, so 6'9" point guard. He gonna be a better defender eventually. Like he can take his game to the next level. But I agree with you. I think Paulo can really take his game to the next level, like you said. Because
Mm-hmm.
I remember when people were saying like, even though he kind of looks like he kind of plays like Melo just a little bit, some people were saying he was somewhat of a LeBron type player. Like they were saying that kind of earlier in his career. Like Paulo is good. He's really good at.
Like when I think
No, go
about
ahead.
it, I think about it like Paulo. They both could be MVP candidates, right? But I
Mhm.
think Paulo is like, you know how like, so it's like Shea and Jokic, they were battling for MVP, and then you have votes for whatever other players. I feel like Paulo is gonna be that one that's talked about as the MVP, but Cade, he's in that conversation, but he's not one or two. Like he's like
Uh,
3 or 4 on the list or something like that. So it's like yeah, I'm gonna go with Paulo though. I think Paulo is a little bit better than Cade.
I have no problem with that. I'm gonna go Paulo because he is in my list of my favorite players. So I'm biased. But Cade, man, those guys are being they are Cade is on his way, especially if he beats the Knicks. He some people might say, he's like a superstar to an extent. Maybe not yet, but he's up there. Paulo
Yeah, I
the
said
same
not
way.
yet. He up there though, but not yet.
But it's a good conversation because they're both young, and I've been thinking about. I'm like, man, who's better? Like, who is the better player between those two? Man, let's get in. Let's get into the last series of the East. The Pacers and the Bucks. The Pacers won 4-1 against the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo, masterclass, obviously in game 5, but a masterclass in the whole series. Dame tore his Achilles, but we'll get more into that later. The Pacers won in overtime, especially after Gary Trent masterclass. But what is your takeaways from the Pacers and Bucks series? Oh, I want to
Um,
hear this.
well, first and foremost, after Dame got hurt, I felt like that game 4, um, yeah, that game 4, the team was just deflated. Like it was like Dame got hurt. Do we even got a chance to win this game? And they lost. But for the series as a whole, once again it showed that Doc Rivers could not make adjustments. Because throughout the entire series, they kept letting AJ Green switch on Pascal Siakam. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
But yeah, every game they kept letting AJ Green switch on to Pascal Siakam, or they kept letting their guards switch on to their bigs, and it was easy buckets every single time. Then, instead of starting Gary Trent, I think he started them like the last two, 3 games, something like that. But that was too late by then because you letting Nimhart go crazy, you letting all their perimeter players go crazy. So it was like when you started Gary Trent, it was too late for all that. And then the key to that series was Miles Turner. Miles Turner played a great series. When Miles Turner didn't play well, the Bucks won, or it was a closer game than what it was. But yeah, I think Dame getting hurt and Doc Rivers' ability not to adjust on the fly, that was a big reason, why they lost. And I thought Giannis played amazing. He played amazing the entire series. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. I think coaching and Dame getting injured was a big reason why they lost. Because if we being honest, they supposed to be going to Game 7 because they won one game. If they would have won Game 2, it was like they were supposed to win that last game, and then what game was it? They were supposed to win Game 2 when Dame came back. They had a chance to win, but they blew that too. So it could have been a better series than what it was, but they gotta go back to the drawing board this offseason.
Everything I said came to fruition. Brook Lopez was not good. Bobby Portis somehow was not good. I'm shocked. Once again,
Bobby Portis played a good series, dog. You tweaking.
I'm not getting into this. No, he didn't, bro.
You tweaking. Yes, he
did. Okay, bro. Okay.
Bro, if you had one bad game.
Bobby Portis gave you 14 points this playoff series. He gave you 14 points.
What the fuck you need? You thought he's going to give you 20? He's not that type of player. 14, 15 is what that's what I said we needed for him.
I was trying to tell you that. I was trying to tell you that. Because when I asked you, why did you change from your, because I went back, I looked back at these videos. Again, you said the Pacers were the better team. And I asked you, who would you pick right now as we speak? You said the Pacers. And then when we gave our selections, I asked you, why did you switch up? You said, because the first name you said was Bobby Portis. And I said, Bobby Portis is not like this number 2 guy. He can't be like my number 2. We knew Dame was potentially not playing. So you needed Bobby Portis to step it up more. Bobby Portis only gave you 14 points. And I swear to God, you said Bobby Portis was hooping down the stretch after he came back from suspension. So I'm thinking in my head, you had to think he was going to play someone similar to that. You had to think that way if you got to think of Bobby Portis was the first guy you was naming. Bobby Portis with no Dame, you had to expect him to play better than that. He gave you one really good game? And that was in game 2? He did not play like how we thought he should have played with no Dame. And Dame, when he came back, was not good. And in game 3, he was trash. That's just facts. Bro, the game they won and the game they almost won, it took Gary Trent Jr. masterclass. No one thought Gary Trent Jr. was going to do any of that. And give Doc Rivers somewhat credit for starting him. And I agree with you. He started him late. By that time, it was too late. But the fact that Bobby Portis didn't play good, because you swear you named Kyle Kuzma because you put him a part of the big 3, he was trash. Kyle Kuzma was bad. He got benched. He was terrible. All these guys were really bad outside of AJ Green a couple of games. And Bobby Portis 1 game and Gary Trent 2 games. Everybody else, that team was bad. This team didn't have a lot of talent to compete with the Pacers. Yes, no one needed to play great on the Pacers because the team lacks talent. I'm not shocked at what I saw. We knew Giannis would have to go crazy, but what was you going to get from everybody else? You expected more from these guys. I don't know why, but I didn't expect nothing from these guys because these guys are role players. Like, what do you expect Taurean Prince, Kyle Kuzma, and Bobby Portis to do? Like, what? I'm shocked. Like, they was not gonna win this series. Now they should have won Game 5. I thought they should have won, but I can't blame Doc for the turnovers they had late in the game. I'm not gonna blame him on that. Like, it's not my fault that Gary Trent Jr. does a jump pass right in Nembhard's hand. Like, that's not my fault. And then they throw the ball to Gary Trent and the ball goes through his hands and he turns the ball over. I can't blame Doc Rivers on that. And you got to give Rick Carlisle credit. Boy, once they got the switch on Giannis, Tyrese Halliburton just kept going to the hole. He couldn't guard him. He couldn't guard the man. And this is what I'm talking about, bro. Like, Giannis is great. Top 2, top 3 player. This team lacks talent, bro. This team was really bad. Gotta give the Pacers credit, man. They had a good series. You gotta give them credit.
Well, first and foremost, I told you we only needed 14 or 15 points from Bobby Portis. And he gave us exactly that. And the reason why I picked them is because I knew Dame was going to come back game 2. Now, did I think that Dame was going to tell his Achilles? No, nobody thought that. So the fact that Bobby Portis, he did his job. You know, Gary Trent stepped up. AJ Green stepped up. Kuzma was a disappointment. That's the only thing that I can say, you know, you were right about. Kuzma was a disappointment. He didn't show up at all this series. But there's so many factors that can go into that I don't even have to get into. Because you gonna say that shit don't matter when in reality it does matter. So we don't even have to get into that. But Dame getting injured, that was a big blow to the team. That took a lot of confidence out the team. That took a lot of swagger out the team because we needed Dame. If Dame didn't get hurt, they probably could have won the game 4. Who knows? They probably could have won it. But he got hurt. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is, dog. It is what it is. That game 5 was, they should have won that, but late turnovers. I don't even know why AJ Green passed Gary Trent the ball. Yeah, he was open, but you're a great free throw shooter too. And y'all, it wasn't going to be like it was a backcourt violation. All you had to do was catch the ball, hug it, and let them foul you and shoot your free throws, bro. That's all you had to do. And they probably would have won that game. It would have been a free throw game at that point.
They would have been up by 3 if he would have hit his free throws. They would have been up by 3. So we don't know what would have happened at that. They could have came down, hit 3, gone overtime, or they could have lost. We don't know.
Yeah, but they would have been in a better predicament than what they was. Because I think in the minute they had like 3 or 4, the last minute of the game they had, or 2 minutes of the game, they had like 4 or 5 turnovers. Like, that's crazy.
I'm not going to say this Dame getting hurt took the life out of them because I didn't see it. Can I finish? I didn't see them took the life out of them when they was up by almost 20 points in the first half in game 5. I didn't think it took the life out of them then. They were up. And I'm thinking, man, Pacers coming out slow, can't hit a shot. They didn't hit their first. It was like 13-0 early in the first quarter. They didn't get their first shot to like almost the 8-minute mark. And I'm just thinking like, man, it might be too much for them to make a comeback. And I think the Bucks are just going to keep coming down and scoring. But I didn't see nothing about that. And plus, Dame was there in game 2. Yes, that was his first game back. Whatever. Get that. But he played bad. And in game 3, they didn't need him in game 3.
But they won.
That wasn't because of Dame, though. It's not because of Dame.
But Dame being out there, that takes a lot of pressure off the others. So with now Dame's out there, Gary Trent's getting more open shots. Taurean Prince is getting more open shots. Bobby Portis is getting more open shots. Kuzma's getting good looks. That plays a part.
Yeah, I'm not going to use the Dame excuse I'm not going to do that because he was out there and they lost. This team was just not good. It's just, like I said, too much talent. Everybody else could score on that team. The next person was Gary Trent with like 17, and that's only because he dropped 30-point bombs. Like, so really he only had 2 good games. I don't know, like to me at least. I don't think Bobby Portis played the best. And that's just me. I don't think from how people were saying what Bobby Portis and how you said he was playing good at the end of the season. I'm thinking Bobby Portis is supposed to come out here at least drop almost 20.
I did not say that. I told you what we expected from him. And he did exactly that.
Bobby Portis gave you 4 points in game 1, got blown out. He gave you 28 points, great game. He gave you 10 points in game 3. If you want to say that's a good game, that's fine. They won that game. He gave you 14 points and played 44 minutes in the closeout game and only gave you 14 points. Like, what? Okay, then. Since Dame wasn't there, who did you want to step it up there? Who did you think was supposed to step it up?
No, the reason why I picked them because I knew Dame was coming back. If I didn't think Dame was coming back, I wouldn't have picked them.
Okay. Again, this showed me. I don't care how great you are. If you don't got the talent on your team, I ain't picking you for nothing, bro. And that's a mistake I made with the Lakers. But that is what it is. But for this series alone, the Pacers were just a better team. They were just a better team, more talent on their team. Didn't have the best player, but they just had the better overall team. Like I think they had like almost 7 people that averaged double figures in the 5 games. And the fact that Tyrese, y'all say he overrated. I want y'all niggas to shut the fuck up. He is not overrated. Because I just saw him take the best player in the world, this defensive god, not you, but some people's defensive god, took this man 101 and drive past him and lay the ball up for the game-winning shot. That's what stars do. Shit, that's what superstars do. That's my guy. That's my guy. That's my guy.
Are you calling him a superstar?
Yep, I'm calling Tyrese Halliburton a superstar. That's my guy.
So a superstar is somebody that averages 18 and 9?
Hey, a superstar is the one that makes the great plays, right? I saw this.
Cole Anthony made great plays in the play-in. Is he a great player? Everybody's in the NBA for a reason. They can all make great plays.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. That's 2 different roles. We're not going to do that, bro.
What separates a good player from a superstar is consistency.
And he's going to give you what, almost close to 20 and 9 every year. I don't know what you want to do.
Those are not superstar numbers. 20 and 9 is not superstar numbers.
Okay. That's fine.
Those are all-star numbers, but those are not superstar numbers.
That's fine. That's fine with you, brother. That's my guy.
Bro, that man is mid. He's mid.
All right. Okay, buddy.
That man got one move. He has one move.
He used that one move to gain the Bucks the other day.
Bro, he tried to do that little step back all the time. Bro, they sit on that shit all the time. And guess what your boyfriend do next? Guess what your boyfriend do next series? Flop. That's exactly what he
I don't think he flops. I think he plays good. I just if I would pick right now, I would pick the Cavs to win. I think they have the way better team. But low key, if the Pacers do win, I won't be upset. That's all I'm gonna say. But that's my guy. So if you wanna say he mid, that's on you. That's your opinion. You think he mid? In my opinion, the man is a superstar. Make the great plays, took his team to the conference finals. He's done more than Giannis in the past 3 years. I'll say that. But all I'm going to say is Tyrese Halliburton makes the great plays down the stretch, a traditional point guard. We want him to average like 25 like a Trae Young. He's just not Trae Young. He's not Trae Young. He doesn't do that. He's not going to give you 25 and 12. I'm cool with him giving me like 20 and 10. I'm cool with that. I have no problem. But in my opinion, I'm biased. I'm going to say the man is a superstar. That's fine with me. Like I said, you thought Bobby Portis and Kuzma was going to do something. And Brook Lopez, I don't know, like, them guys suck. Before, real quick. I don't know what she was going to say. I give Doc Rivers some credit, though. He did make the adjustment of saying, you know what, Brook Lopez, you can't play, bro. Come sit with me, or you just not going to play a lot of minutes at all. I give him credit on that. The thing is, I don't like that he put out a lineup we've never seen before a day in our lives. He put out Gary Trent, AJ Green, Kevin Porter, Bobby Portis, and Giannis. It's like, I know he had to because it's like, this is our season. But it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And Brook Lopez, I think he played, less than 10 minutes, and same with Kyle Kuzma. It's whatever. What was you about to say?
I think they need to pay Jericho Sims. They need to pay Jericho Sims more. Because at least he's athletic. You know, he can sprint up and down the floor. You know, he can switch better than Brook Lopez could have. Um, it would have been that would have been way better than having Brook Lopez out there because he wasn't even stepping up on pick and rolls, or they were just blowing right past him. At least with Jericho Sims, I know he's athletic. He can recover. Um, he may not be as experienced as Brook Lopez, but at that point, you needed something. You needed a spark somewhere or something. And I would have tried to throw because when Jericho Sims was out there, he played okay. I'm not gonna say he was great, but he played okay. He should have played him more because the Pacers attacked the rim and wasn't even worried about who was down there. At least with Jericho Sims, like I said, he's a big body and athletic, so they know if they come down there, he's gonna at least jump with them. They wasn't scared. Nobody was gonna jump with them when they went to the hole.
Well, but since the Bucks are eliminated, and also before we get to what's next for the Bucks, what did you think about the confrontation with Tyrese Halliburton, Dad, and Giannis? Did you like it? Was there a problem with it? Like, what was your thoughts on that?
Well, as a father, I would have did the same thing. Cause ain't no way y'all calling my son overrated. Y'all hacking my son every single game. You know, you calling my son a bitch. You telling him you gonna beat his ass, this, that, and the third. So I ain't had no problem with it. Y'all talked all that shit. So now when we talk shit back, you shouldn't have no problem with it. And then it's like, yeah, I understand the NBA didn't like it because, you know, that sets the precedent for other fans to come out on the court and get in the NBA players' faces, and that could be dangerous. You know, I get it, but I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it's the nature of the sport. You know, they won, they got to talk shit last, so you know, jokes on you. So I ain't have a problem with it.
I'm cool if you do it from where you were at, like before, like when the game was going on. I guess on the sidelines somewhere, like close to where the tunnel is. I'm guessing that's probably where he was seated at with his wife. I'm guessing. I don't know, but that's cool if you do it then. But don't come on the court and do that, brother. Don't come on the court because at that point I got the right to damn near smack you. Don't do that. Like that's damn near like almost disrespectful, bro. Like it's cool, I guess. Like you can talk shit. I have no problem with that. That's what we do. You gotta talk. But don't be doing all that coming to my face because Giannis, especially in that moment, like Giannis is devastated. You just got game. He thinking like, wow, we really just lost like that. Then he look, he see a dude with a towel just waving at him with Tyrese Halliburton's face. Then he like, wait a minute, that's his dad. It's like, whoa, brother, whoa. All right. But then it looks bad, like you said. Now it's like any fan come on there, and it's like you could say where's security at, but at the same time, they know that was Tyrese Halliburton's dad, so of course, you know they probably let some of the at least his family on the court, you know, just hit a game winner to like you know celebrate or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, bro, anybody could have came up to him, could possibly have something in their pocket, could have hurt him. Like you just never know. You can't let that happen. But you can do it from the sidelines. Just don't do that. Like, don't be coming on my face. And they were head to head too, like bro, forehead to forehead. Giannis could have smacked him low key. Giannis is just he was over it at that point. He was over it. I'm different. I would have just said, fuck you, brother. I don't even know what the fuck you talking about. And I would have just moved on. That's just me though. But what's next for the Milwaukee Bucks? Damian Lillard has a torn Achilles. Most likely, I think he won't play next year. I think he won't. Giannis' future is up in the air. This roster isn't good. What's next for the Milwaukee Bucks?
Well, first and foremost, you gotta keep Kevin Porter. I think Kevin Porter was a serviceable backup point guard. You gotta keep him. Bobby Portis has a player option this year. So he needs to come back. You need to make sure he comes back. I would sign back Gary Trent. He's an unrestricted free agent this year. I would sign him back. But they just need talent. Like you said, they don't really have outside of Dame and Giannis and probably Bobby Portis and Gary Trent, and I'll still put Kuzma in there. They don't really have anything else. Kevin Porter, but other than that, they don't really have anything else. They need to get a bench. They need to get another big because Brook Lopez isn't it. It's about time for him to retire. but they don't got no draft capital. I don't even know if they have cap salary for real. So first, if they want to at least salvage their future, they're gonna have to make some trades and make some tough decisions.
Who
But
are they trading?
I mean,
They
you
don't
can't
have
trade
anybody.
if you want to stay relevant, you can't trade Giannis or Dame. So you're gonna have to either trade Bobby, Kuzma, Gary Trent, sign them back and,
Well,
and trade them, sign the trades. But other than that, they don't really got nothing.
well, like you said, Bobby Portis has a player option. I think it's for like 13 million. I think he declines that because before the suspension, he was playing good. So he might think he could get more money from somewhere else. Kevin Porter Jr., I'm looking at it right now. He has a player option for 2 million. He outplayed the 2 mil. So he might not come back. Gary Trent, you just said it, unrestricted free agent. He helped himself in these playoffs by dropping 30 bombs in 2 games. He might get an okay, decent contract. Brook Lopez is a free agent. He most likely doesn't come back. Dame is hurt. So you can't trade him. Kuzma was trash. And look at that contract he has. Nobody wants that. I don't want that. It depends. If you're the Bucks, we don't have no capital. We basically don't got no draft capital, no cap space. Our best asset is Giannis. And every team goes through a rebuild. It happens. And Giannis at this point, he might have to go through a rebuild. You should start live streaming the game a lot. People can't watch you. Definitely gonna get some views. No, for real though, because they do that on playback. We could watch the games and then we could like talk about it. And I think playback is a good source to do that, but probably not this year. Maybe next year we might think about being on playback. You never know, but probably not this year. Probably not this year, but that is a good point. But they don't have no trade assets. And then let me go back. And I know I sent the last week, and I think not last week, but this week. But I think Nike sent something or whoever. So here it is. Dame is 34, may not play again until 2027. Don't own the first in this draft. Least favorable first round. Because I went on Fanspo, they have a swap. Like every draft, they have a swap. So if you guys are butt, that team could just switch with you. Mm-hmm. So you don't really have a pick. Don't own any first from 2027 to 29. Don't own their first until 2031. Bobby Portis, Gary Trent, Prince, KPJ, Rollins, they all free agents. Nobody wants Kyle Kuzma. And I'm looking at this, their young core is Tyler Smith, Chris Livingston, and Andre Jackson. That's the young core. And this is it. So in 2025, the Pelicans have the pick. They have a swap with the Pelicans at 26. The Pelicans have their 2027 pick. They have a 2028 swap with the Blazers plus the Wizards. The Blazers have their pick in 29 and a swap with the Blazers in 2030. They don't have a future. Hold on. Definitely finna sub to you. I'm in school skipping watching this. Hey man, that's what
appreciate
I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, brother.
Hey, I appreciate it, dog, but you gotta get your education, big dog. I appreciate it though.
Nah, bro. No, you get that education, but also put your AirPods in and still listen to us. If you in class, you can still do that, brother. Hey, I fuck with that. That's one of the best comments I've seen in a minute. I damn near might say that. That's what I'm talking about, bro. That's what do you sports bet? I sports bet. He sports bet. Maybe I might sports bet more than him, but he sports bet. We both sports bet. I'm on a little losing streak, but that's neither here nor there. But let me get back to what I was. Let me get back. I think you do have to trade Giannis, though. I think it's time. Giannis is basically 30 years old. He's in the smack dab of his prime. You guys don't have a future. And I just saw a report saying that if Dame didn't get hurt, they would have thought about trading him. Because they said, I saw the tweet or whatever, it said Dame and Giannis, like they respect each other. Their relationship is strong. And I know we talked about it like before the season started, the on-court experiment with them. It doesn't work. It just hasn't worked. We thought we'd see a lot of pick and rolls with them. We don't see it. We just don't see it. So their chemistry on the court just hasn't been the greatest. So, they have to think about it. And I actually have a couple of trades. I wish I could do this, see this Rockets ones again. I bet y'all have a nice, Brody, nice talking to y'all. Hope both y'all get rich. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you, bro. What is it, J Rex? Yeah, J Rex. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. That means a lot, man. That means a lot. I'm saving that comment because that means something to me, man. That means something to me. That's motivation right there. If you skip at school to watch us, I love it, bro. I love it. But no. So I got these trades that I came up with yesterday. And I went on Bleacher Report. They said the teams that's looking at Giannis are the Houston Rockets, the Nets, the Spurs, OKC, and the Heat. So for the Spurs, this is what I came up with. The Spurs get Giannis, and you give up Harrison Barnes, gotta make the money match. Keldon Johnson, Stephon Castle, their 2025 first round pick this year, not the one from Atlanta, their own, which when I went on Take-a-thon yesterday, it was ranked 8. It was number 8.
Okay.
And a 2028 first round pick. It's swap. Boston has the swap rights.
Okay. No, I don't. I mean, the trade is not bad. Don't get me wrong, but I don't like that for the Spurs because Giannis is so ball dominant. It's gonna take away from Wemby. The team that I like him going to the most is the Heat. I like him because they all gonna fall in line if he goes to the Heat. But them other teams, Giannis is too ball dominant. That's probably why him and Dame ain't work for real. Because he ain't. It's like they were force feeding. Whenever I seen them play, Dame will force feed Giannis. It's like I know I got to get him the ball. He gonna get mad. You know what I mean? So I like the Heat better than any one of those other teams.
Okay, I got the Rockets. The Rockets get Giannis. You give up Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, Reed Shepard, the Rockets' first round pick this year via the Suns, and this freaking ad is covering up the other pick. So I'm gonna guess you can't trade 2 consecutive picks in a row. So it is either 2027, 2028, 2029. It's one of those picks.
I mean, the Rockets do need a superstar, but I don't think Giannis is the one. That's a good trade for the Bucks, though. But I don't think Giannis is a good fit, though.
Okay, even though Jalen Green has not been good, been trash recently, who is going to make the big shot when it comes down to it?
What are you talking about for the Rockets?
Yes, let's just hypothetically they give up Jalen Green. Well, as of right now, Fred is on the Fred. Okay, do you want those guys though? I'm just saying.
I mean,
if you have Giannis.
I mean, you gonna let Giannis take your last second shot? Well, if it depends on what we need. If we need a 3, I'm gonna go Fred. If we just need a 2, I'll go Giannis or Sengun.
I mean, me personally, I don't think this is bad. If I'm the Rockets, you get Jalen Green, whatever.
It's the fit,
you get Jabari
though.
Smith. You don't think Giannis and Sengun can fit together?
No. No. I don't think Giannis can fit on that team at all.
I do think Kevin Durant is a better fit for that team than Giannis. But if they got a chance to get one of them, this is what I came up with. I think it's not bad. It's like you said, for the Bucks, you basically get 3 young players. Reed Shepard could probably be that point guard you want, and he could probably be good on there. You get a first round pick for the Suns. I think that's in the teens. So they get a first round pick and they get another first round pick. So I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's worse, but I get what you're saying.
No. Yeah, none of the trades were bad. It's just the fit on the team. Well, so far none of the trades were bad. It's just the fit on the team.
So with the Nets, it's kind of so I think with this Nets, the Nets is like Celtics and Nets, but I feel like if the Nets do want him, I think it's gonna be like a 3-team, 14 trade because they're gonna need some other players. Because man, when you go look, everybody ain't good and no one's getting paid. So it's hard to make the salaries match. But all I came up with is the Nets get Giannis and they would have to give up Nick Claxton, Cam Johnson, the Rockets first round pick this year, the Philly first round pick in 2027, and a 2029 first round pick from the Knicks.
Mm-hmm. That's what the Nets will have to give up for Giannis.
Yes. So Nick Claxton, Cam Johnson, and basically 3 first round picks.
But if you Giannis, do you even want to go there? Like, because you really ain't gonna win for another.
Well,
or get back to wins for at least another 2-3 seasons.
If you're Giannis, you have to talk to them and say, are we getting somebody else to play with me? I have to get this commitment. Because if I know I'm not getting this commitment, because I think the Nets they're gonna have some money. But if I'm not getting this commitment and no one else is coming there, there's no point of going there. That team not good. You are in a bigger market than Milwaukee, but at the same time, the team still ain't good. But that's what they would have to give up. I mean, I don't want to, like, these the only guys that's making money on this team. So I had no choice but to put them in there. They literally the only guys. And you got to give up at least 3 first round picks. So I got one with the Thunder. Now, this is my trade. I also have one that Bleacher Report came up with. I have that. But this is my trade. So the Thunder get Giannis and Tyler Smith. The Bucks will get Isaiah Hartenstein, Ousmane Deng, J-Dub, Dylan Jones, a first-round pick from the Heat, a 2027 first-round pick via the Nuggets, and a 2029 first-round pick that's owned just by the Thunder.
So they'll still keep Chet, Shea, and Giannis.
Yes. And Luke Dort is still there.
And Lou Dort.
Yes.
Cason Wallace is still there.
Yes, Caruso is still there. And it's
Aaron
actually
Wiggins is still there.
Yes, yep. Isaiah Joe is And surprisingly, this trade was a success because it was kind of hard trying to figure out a trade for them. But this trade actually worked.
I think that wouldn't be that one. I don't think the fit will matter because Giannis knows how great Shea is. Now, I'm not saying Giannis doesn't think Dame isn't great, but we all know Shea's the better player than Dame. So it's like I think Giannis would be more comfortable with deferring to the ball because you got Shea. Yeah, so
I don't think it's bad. But people are hesitant on like who would you give up, J-Dub or Chet? Like who are you like? That's just what people saying. Who would you give up, J-Dub? I'm seeing a lot of people say J-Dub.
I love you say
no,
Chet.
I mean not. I'm seeing a lot of people say Chet. They would keep J-Dub and trade Chet.
I would give up Chet, yeah. Because if you think about it, you just replacing Chet with Giannis then. And then it'd be Hartenstein, Giannis, Luke Dort, J-Dub, and
Hartenstein
Shea.
is in this. No,
Are he still gonna be in there? He's still gonna be in there?
It's just J-Dub and J-Dub and Chet switch. I need that big that can spread the floor though. And who's a really good defender too.
Yeah, then I'll say J-Dub then. If I can't keep Hartenstein, then I'll say J-Dub. Because them two big lineup is dangerous.
Because the only reason Hartenstein is in there because the salaries. Like you gotta have the salaries that match. And especially with J-Dub and them, they're not making a lot of money because they're still in their rookie contracts. So you gotta add somebody else in there with a big contract. And the Bucks, they probably need a big. You need a building block in J-Dub. Ousmane Deng might be a guy. You know a little bit more of him than me. So he might be a guy that could elevate over there in Milwaukee. The same with Dylan Jones. And then you get 3 first-round picks. So it's like,
Yeah, it's not bad. You got at least you have a way to set yourself up for the future. No, that's not a bad trade.
So the ones that Bleacher Report came up with for the Rockets, they said Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, Reece Shepard is crazy because I did the same thing. It's crazy, right? And Cam Whitmore and 3 first-round picks for Giannis. That's a lot.
I mean, but shit, you gave up 5 first rounds for Mikal Bridges. We talking about Giannis, like.
I mean, if I'm the Bucks, I damn near might do it. I might do it. Because Cam Whitmore, we think highly of him. He might be the guy if he over there starting. Not the guy, but really good.
I still think highly of him. I ain't mad at Udoka for not playing him, but I think he needs to play in this series too because he's a big body. He's athletic. Somebody that can put on Jimmy because they ain't got nobody to guard Jimmy, bro.
Because they got a man. He got to guard Steph. Man,
Steph, yeah.
I know we go get into that series, but man, he put the clamps on Steph yesterday. He put the clamps on him. But this one is from the Thunder. I don't know why they came up with this because I tried to do this in Fanspo. This trade didn't work, but they said Isaiah Hartenstein, Casey Wallace, Nikola Topic, and 4 first-round picks.
Wait, say the player Topic. Who else?
Casey Wallace, Isaiah Hartenstein, Nikola Topic, and 4 first-round picks for Giannis.
No, bro, I'm not doing that, bro. I'm not doing that, bro. If you gotta give me J-Dub or Chet on one of them, bro, I need somebody that got superstar or all-star potential.
Hey, Nikola Topic was, he was highly rated prospect.
Yeah, but he got injured. He had 2 big injuries back to back. Like I don't remember what they were, but they were 2 big injuries. He came back. Last year he had a big injury. Then he came back for that, played well, and then got injured again. So it's like, do you really want to take your chance on that? Now, don't get me wrong, he could come back the same player or better, but I don't know. I wouldn't trust me personally.
And then they said the Warriors, Jimmy Butler, and 2 first-round picks for Giannis. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, bro. I'm not doing that. But yes, that's it for the Giannis trades. All right, let's go in the West now. Let's start with the OKC Thunder and the Memphis Grizzlies. The OKC Thunder sweep the Memphis Grizzlies 4-0. They had a 30-point lead in Game 3. John Morant goes out. They squandered the lead. OKC won. In Game 4, it was very competitive. OKC came out victorious because Shai Gilgeous had a masterclass. What was your thoughts on the series? And what is your thoughts also from John Morant saying he figured him out and it would have been 2-2 if he was there?
Man, that's cap, bro. That's cap, bro. He may have figured him out, but what about the rest of his team? You know what I mean? Like, bro, they were too good. They were too dumb. Bro, they were blowing them out, and the Thunder came back and won. Like, come on now, dog. Like, bro, y'all didn't have enough. Y'all didn't have the talent to compete with them. They were just overpowering, too dominant for y'all, bro. Like, that's all it was. Like, I think everybody and their mama knew it was gonna be a sweep coming. The Thunder were just too good, and they had too much for them. They had too much for them to handle. They had nobody that could stop Shai. They had nobody that could stop J-Dub. Chet played great that series, like, and then now you got the others of OKC. The others of OKC are better than the others of Memphis. So it's like they were just outbeating every category.
Desmond Bane played so bad that series. Desmond Bane, I said playing, I think. Desmond Bane played bad in that series. Jaren Jackson was. People talking about he the most overrated big in the league now. Because he can't rebound. He wasn't really great. I think it is kind of BS what he said though. Like, I don't even if y'all even if it does go back 2-2. Y'all not winning in OKC, brother. It's not gonna happen. Mm-hmm. I don't care. So even if it does go 7, you wasn't gonna win in OKC. It's just, I'm sorry, Ja. It just wasn't. But OKC is similar, just like the Cavs. Show their dominance on the offensive end and the defensive end. Shai really didn't have this great series, honestly, outside of really Game 4. But once again, they didn't need him. I didn't think they need him to play great. But once again, if they got to play either the Clippers or the Nuggets, he has to play MVP. He has to play MVP level, or might have to step it up just a little bit. How he played against the Grizzlies, but if he played like that against the Clippers or the Nuggets, they damn near might lose. So you can't play like that. But I mean, the Thunder are the Thunder, bro. One of the greatest defensive teams we've ever seen. And they're just an overall great team. Too much talent. Their bench is great. Aaron Williams, Isaiah Joe, Kendrick Williams, Caruso. What was that, Game 3? Jesus Christ, he was putting the clamps on those dudes, bro. He's so good defensively. Caruso is so good defensively. Like, I don't know what more they can do. And Chet came alive in the second half because in Game 3, he was trash. He only had like 1 point. He was trash, but he scored like 20-something points in the second half. Like, like that's what stars type players do. So, but like the Grizzlies, they just didn't have enough. John Morant, he was playing good when they was blowing him out, but man, Lou Dort undercut him. Well, I don't think it was him. He slipped and that wasn't his fault. I don't think that was his fault. But he hurt his hip. They threw in the towel saying, yeah, you're not going to play in game 4. They did keep it close, though. But, I still think the Grizzlies have a good team. I just think they can't win a championship with that team.
Yeah, they need something else. They need something better than Jaren Jackson, G.
Yeah, so
Jaren Jackson has to be your third best player. He can't. I don't think he could be your second.
I was just about to say, what is next for the Memphis Grizzlies, bro? Like, what is next for them?
Bro, they need. To be honest with you, they need KD. I ain't gonna lie to you. KD on it, like Ja, KD, and Jaren Jackson and Edie. That would be a nice thing. I would have confidence in the Grizzlies now, but I think Desmond Bane, low key, gotta go. I'm not saying because he's trash and nothing like that, but like you gotta keep Jaren Jackson because you need. He's good defensively and he's a stretch 4 and he could put the ball in the basket. Only thing is he can't rebound. Keep Zach Edey, keep Ja. Jalen Wills is gonna come back, and they just need something more, G. Because what they got is not enough.
I said it like a month ago. You have to think about looking at Mike trading Ja. You have to think about it. Like I said it, I'm gonna say it again. The antics, staying hurt. I don't know where they came out with that report talking about league people don't view Ja as a top 10 player. I'm like, when the hell was he top 10? When did that happen? If anything, top at least arguably top 15, but at least top 20
I was gonna say top 15. I was gonna say top 15.
When the hell was he a top 10 player? I'm like, what do y'all be looking at? But whatever. You have to think about it because do I want that, bro? He gets hurt. Like, I think because they didn't make the playoffs last year, so that was 24. 23. Who did they face? That was the year the Nuggets won. They lost to the Lakers, I think, that year. Like, I think Ja missed some time in that series. Like, he gets hurt all the time. And it's like, we got to think about, is it time to get rid of Ja Morant out of Memphis? We have to think about that. I honestly, though, I think they have all the pieces. I really do. You have the guard. You have the point guard. You got the bigs. You got the second scorer. You even got the forward in Jalen Wills. He's going to be starting for them. The bench is not bad. I just don't think those guys are good enough to lead you to a championship. That's really all it is. And I don't think no one goes to Memphis. Who wants to, no one goes there.
No, ain't no superstar star player going. I think, like I said, I think they need something better than Jaren Jackson, Jay. Like, I think Ja can be your second best player. I don't think he could be your first best player on the championship team. Because right now we've seen he's the best player on their team and they getting bounced out the first round, or or the second round. They're not making it to no conference finals or no finals. So it's like Ja could be my second, but we need something more than that.
Even the year they faced the Warriors was 22 when they won the championship. He got hurt in that series too. It feels like he's just getting hurt in every series. And it's like, bro, how can we depend on you if you're going to get hurt all the time? So it's like, you have to think about trading this man. I don't know the where. Might come up with some trades. I know some people might say even the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat might want him. I don't know.
I'll look to trade Jaren Jackson before I trade Ja. I don't think they can trade Ja. I don't think they should do that. He brings butts in the seats. If you trade Ja, you have to get something back so great that where your fans come and wants to see y'all play. Because the fans come to watch Ja play, if we being honest.
Jaren Jackson. Okay, so what do you need to replace him? Like, what do you need? I know obviously you need a big that can board. But it's like, is that all we need?
They got
a guy that can rebound?
They got Edey.
Even without Edey, he still wasn't boarding.
I think Edey's gonna be better next year, so they don't really need a rebounding big. Like I said, they just need another all-star star type of player, Jay. That's what they need. That's what they because like you said, their team is complete, but they can't do nothing. They can't make it past the second round.
What if they okay? I was gonna say a guy, but let me tell you. I was gonna say Franz. What if you took Franz? What if Franz was there over Jaren Jackson? I was gonna say him.
I don't think now if Franz was added with that, like if Franz was added with that, then maybe, but that still don't really move me that well.
What about Jimmy Butler? Remember those reports how they wanted to trade for him? He just said, "I don't want to go there." Now I
Now
don't know why he
Jimmy,
didn't want to
yes,
go there, but he said he didn't want to go there.
Jimmy, yes, that would put them over the hump. Jimmy would definitely put them over the hump. If you had Jimmy, Ja, Jaren Jackson, Edie, and Jalen Wells, I think that's a really good team.
I don't even know who they
Regardless,
would
I
have
think
gave up.
Desmond Bain got to go. You would
Why
have to
is
give up Desmond Bain.
so Desmond Bain only going because he's just the trade piece we got to give up. That's the
Yeah,
only reason.
he's a good trade. He's a good trade piece, that people will want. And I don't think they want to give up Jaren Jackson or Ja. I mean, they might be thinking about trading, but I don't think they want to give them up. So
Man, once he makes that All NBA team and worth like $300 million, hey man, Jared Jackson about to get the bag. He about to get the bag, man. But I think the Grizzlies have a good team. I think they could probably make it to the second round at the most, but this team ain't win no championship. Ja Morant stays hurt. Like, he's good, just not good enough to win a championship. And that's is what it is. Like you said, they probably do need like another superstar player, but you have to trade for that player because no free agent is
mhm.
going there. Like,
But they
no.
got a lot of trade pieces. It's just that if you do that, you go and dismantle your team. Because I give them Aldama's good. Scottie
Yeah,
Pippen
free
Jr.
agent.
came alive. You got GG Jackson. Like they got a lot of decent pieces over there.
Yeah, man, but look at OKC, man. Good luck to them. They're going to the second round. They're going to either face Clippers or Nuggets. But let's get into the 2-7 matchup. The Rockets and the Warriors. Last time we spoke, the series was tied 1-1. Game 3, Jalen Green was trash. He got benched that game, I think. And I think in game 4, he didn't play good either. He played bad there. And the Warriors came out with 2 games and went up 3-1. But yesterday, the Rockets came out. I figured that they would win game 5 and blew them out. But from what are your takeaways from the rest of this series? From this
Well,
series, I
first,
mean, sorry.
first and foremost, y'all boy, Jalen Green is doing exactly what I said he was gonna do. Have one good game, and every other game in this series has been trash. That man on the season, the man is averaging 21, 4, and 3. In a playoff series, he's averaging 14, 5, and 3. Dylan Brooks is scoring more than Jalen Green. That is unacceptable. That man has been that man has been trash. And when he plays well, guess what? They win. You know what I mean? That game that he dropped, like 30 something, they won. It was without him scoring, the Houston Rockets do not have a chance at beating the Warriors. He has to play well. And the reason why they won the last game is because a man went bunkers. A man went bunkers. Who else played well? Fred went dummy. Jimmy and Steph, they had bad first halves. So, like Jalen Green has to step it up. He has to step it up. He has been a no-show besides that one game, and he's been getting carried by the rest of his team. He's been benched, I think, like at least 2 out of 5 games. He's been benched in the fourth quarter. That's unacceptable. And you're supposed to be we drafted you to be our go-to guy, to be our closer, to be our scorer. And you can't even get in the playoffs. You're supposed to be a playoff riser. Even though this is his first playoff series. I'm you know what I'm saying? So take it with a grain of salt. He may play better next year if they make the playoffs. But as of right now, you have a stacked team. You're supposed to be showing up, bro, and you have not shown up at all. And that's gonna be a big reason why they gonna lose this series if he don't step it up.
No, again, Jalen Green has been bad. Yes, outside of one game in game 2, he has been bad. I think he got benched in game 1. I think he got benched in game 4. And that was a close game, too. They could have won that game because Fred has the last 2 games has been really good for them. And I think in one of those games, Jalen Green didn't play good, and I think Sengun didn't play good. So you needed like your two best players to play good. They did, and the Warriors won that game. And I think Jimmy Butler had a playoff Jimmy game. Last game, I felt like it was yesterday. I thought the Rockets would win. I think they was basically gonna be 30-piece in the majority of the game. And and you saw the Warriors. They basically just said, "All right, you guys won." They took their starters out in the third quarter. I figured like it was gonna give it up. But I think Amin has played better the last two games. Fred has played good the last two games. Dylan Brooks, like you said, has played good. I think he has played really good, and you need that other guy to match Draymond antics. You need that other guy because they both just out there just throwing punches, not throwing punches, but pushing people, shouting at each other. You need that guy. Dylan Brooks has played good. I think Jabari Smith has actually played good in this series too. I think he deserves to get more tick. I don't know why Ime don't give him more tick, but that's neither here nor there. But I do think Jalen Green has to step it up because his last like 5 games, well, his playoffs, he's only had one double-digit game. He had double-digit yesterday, but I don't count that. Like, y'all blowing him out. I don't need him to do nothing. But the games that matter, he's played bad. Single digits, bro. Like you said, that's unacceptable. That's bad. I think he's still a good player, but he has been bad this series. I think he has. Like, I'm not taking away from that. Now go ahead.
Bro, that man is averaging 36% from the field and 26% from three. You and everybody in the comments gave me so much shit for saying he's inconsistent and he's relatable to Jordan Clarkson. This playoff series shows he's directly related to Jordan Clarkson. The man takes terrible shots. He can't hit a shot. So all that negativity y'all gave me for being on his ass, I'm owed an apology because I was right. I've been saying this shit from the beginning. I've been saying this shit since I've been on this damn podcast. He is not the player y'all think he is. Now, if he becomes more consistent, maybe. But as of right now, bro, all he is a microwave volume scorer. That's all he is. And as of right now, that's his projection for the rest of his time in the league until he learns how to rebound more, pass the ball more. Other than that, all he is a volume scorer. That's all he is. And that's as of right now, that's all he'll ever be. If he doesn't get better.
Well, I'm still gonna always disagree. I don't think he's Jordan Clarkson. I think he's better than him, but I'm not gonna go into no shouting match about that.
Bro, he's just more athletic, bro. That's literally it. They do the exact same shit. They're both microwave volume scores. He's just more athletic, dog.
Again, I don't agree, but that's your opinion. I just don't.
You ain't gotta agree. The truth hurts, dog. You ain't gotta agree with the truth.
I don't think it's the truth, but like I said, I'm not going there because it is what it is. If Amin Thompson and then Fred can play like this, yes, you want Jalen Green to play good. I do want him to play good. I thought he would play decent. He hasn't. He's been trash. But if he gonna have another stinker, and if Fred and Sengun and Amin can play good, who cares? I don't care. We both still have the Rockets winning this series because you picked the Rockets in 7. I picked the Rockets in 6, but they have to win in 7 because they were down 3-1. But if it's gonna take a mid masterclass, Fred masterclass, and Sengun masterclass, and Fred and Jalen Green to get benched, I don't care. I want the Rockets to win. That's my second favorite team. I want them. I've been on the Rockets all year. I want them to beat the Warriors. I don't care. Like, Jalen Green is whatever at this point, bro. I even tweeted it. I think it was after like game 3 or 4. I tweeted, I can't defend this. I said that. I can't defend you, brother. I have said you was a good player. And I still think you are a good player. You may not be this superstar player, but I still think you're a decent, good player. But what I'm seeing in 5 games, it's terrible, brother. It's terrible. I can't defend you, brother. I just can't. I can't defend you, but I like what the Rockets have done. The defense has stepped it up. They've been putting the clamps on Steph Curry. Jimmy Butler had the great game in game 4, but it's really the defense. If their defense can keep it up like this and if Fred and the men can make shots, they have a chance. And I thought in game 4, they almost could have won. I thought the Sengun shot was actually a pretty good shot. It just missed. When he backed Draymond Green down and did the hook shot, I thought that was a pretty decent shot. He just missed.
Then Draymond gonna go to the camera talking shit, talking about some you can't score on me, bro. Dog, it was a great shot. Your defense did not affect that shot at all. He literally just missed. That's all it was.
Like, then that series could have gone 2-2. They probably could have won game 5. They could have been up 3-2. You never know. But it is what it is. The Warriors are taking advantage because they are the most experienced team. Buddy Hield has stepped it up out of the blue. He's played good. Pies had a good game, one of those games. And Steph Curry, and the Rockets, they kicking themselves. They did not take advantage of the Steph stinker game in game 4. Steph played bad, and they did not take advantage. They should have won that game. they should have won that game, but they didn't take advantage.
But this is why I said I'm up in the air. I was up in the air about this series because the Rockets had a great defense, but the Warriors and then on top of that they're inexperienced. But the Warriors have Jimmy and Steph, and it's like they're experienced. They know what it's like to play in the playoffs. They know what it's like to play in the finals. So like that experience does play a part. I mean, I still got the. I think I said I had Houston at 6. G. I think I did, but
I thought it was 7. But it is what it is.
Yeah,
6 or 7 doesn't matter.
But the way the Warriors playing right now, I don't even think the Rockets are gonna win. If we being honest, because I think that last game, first off, Steve Kerr should have subbed his starters back in, bro. In the post game interview, he said when you do something like that and pull your starters, you don't put them back in. Bro, your bitch came in and got the game back down to like, I think either 13 or 11 at one point, or they had the chance to get it down to 11. Bro, at 13, I would have subbed my starters back in. Bro, this is a closeout game. I understand you pulled them, you know what I'm saying, because y'all was getting blown out. You know, it's like, all right, well, let's rest them, go back to Golden State, win at Golden State. I get that. But if you have an opportunity to close this game out, you put them back in and you close that game out. Because I believe if they would have came back in, they would have got them stops. And I'm not saying they would have won, but it definitely would have been a good game after that. You put them back in when you have a chance to win, bro. You don't just leave them out there like that. Because now the Rockets got momentum. If you would have put them in and say y'all would have won, that series over, or you would have made it closer to it would have came down to the last second shot, or would have been closer than what it is. The Rockets, yeah, they won that game, but they wouldn't have had momentum because it's like we came back from a blowout and we almost beat them. The Warriors are gonna have confidence going into game 6, even if they would have lost that, bro. I didn't agree with that with Steve Kerr. I would have subbed them back in, bro, and see what they can do.
Well, I mean, the only thing I can think of is the bench had momentum. They're the ones that brought you back in the game. Just keep them in the game. And we don't know. We don't know if you do bring Steph back in who was playing trash, Jimmy who was playing bad. They would have did something. We don't know. Could they? Yeah. Could they have not? Yeah. But the bench is the guys that brought you back. Because, like, they were getting 30 pieces at one point. And like you said, they brought it back down to 10 or 11. Just roll with the guys you got. That's what usually happens. I mean, it happens all the time. We always see when the starters come out and the bench literally keeps them in the game. Sometimes coaches just keep rolling with the bench because these the guys that brought us back in the game. Now, maybe, I mean, he didn't probably say that, or he did. I don't know. But, I mean, I don't blame him for that, but I get what you're saying. Like, if we got it close, I think I got Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. They could probably do something. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess.
And then now, bro, if you would have did that, y'all close out the game, right? So you put him back in and say y'all close out the game. Y'all have a week of rest now. Jimmy hip gets better. Steph thumb or whatever's messed up with his hand has more time to heal. And then now y'all go into the next series more healthy. Now you have to play another game, which you could potentially end up getting hurt even worse than what you are now. You know what I mean? Or the Rockets can come in there and win, and now you got to go to game 7. And now next series, you ain't got that much rest.
I think he already gave up, though. What was it, third quarter when he took them out? I think he already gave up. So there was nothing changed in his mind. He already gave up. Either we go lose this game, or we do come back. We just go roll with the bench. He already gave up that game, so it didn't matter to me. We go back to Golden State.
He shouldn't have, because I would have kept. I think if the Rockets win, I low key think they need to play when I seen them bitch come in, Trace Jackson Davis? Whatever his first
Yeah,
name, Jackson
Trace.
Davis,
Yeah.
Travis Jackson Davis. He played good. Kevin Knox played good out there. Yeah, I would sub Steph, Draymond, and Jimmy back in and kept Kevin Knox and Jackson Davis in and see what we could have did, G. Because now if y'all would have won that game, y'all got a week of rest now. And y'all can prepare.
The series is fun. It's close. We get Game 6 tomorrow. I'm rolling with the Rockets, and we go give our predictions. It's only like 3 games, but whatever. I'm still gonna roll with the Rockets because that's the team I rolled with since day one. I said they was gonna be a top 4 seed, and I'm just gonna roll with them until they get eliminated. So, I got them. But let's go to one of the worst series in this playoffs. I actually might crash out. The Lakers and the Timberwolves. The Lakers lost. Let me take that back. The Timberwolves eliminate the Lakers 4-1. Last time we spoke, it was 1-1. The Lakers in Game 3, Luka Doncic was sick, but I'm not making that as an excuse. They lost that game by like 14 points. In Game 5, in Game 4, JJ Redick played the whole starters the whole second half, didn't sub anybody out. And then yesterday, we had a masterclass from Rudy Gobert. And JJ Redick decided to not play a big for some apparent reason. But the Lakers are eliminated. So now, what are your takeaways from this series that has ended?
Well, JJ said he didn't play Jackson Hayes because they couldn't score whenever they had a center in the lineup. Last night I thought, Game 4 and 5, I thought they had a good chance of winning. Game 5, they just said, you know what, we just gonna, not worry about Gobert, but we gonna send to it, and you know what I mean. And Gobert was just getting easy buckets all night, and that cost them the game for sure, for sure. Bron and Luka, they started off slow in that first quarter. If they would have came out hot, maybe it would have been a different game. Maybe they would have won. Who knows? Rui played amazing. Um, it sucks. This is what I meant by the playoffs is all about matchups. Because if if the Lakers would have went against the Warriors, it would have been a better matchup for them because neither team really has a big. And we've seen that this Minnesota 2 big lineup is killing them. Julius Randle killed them. They were the bigger team, and they got out rebounded damn near every game. And like you said, JJ playing his starters that long, you can't do that, bro. In a play, especially with a 40-year-old. No, I don't care how good LeBron is still playing, but dog, he's 40 years old. He's not gonna be able to run up and down this court like he's 21 still. But it sucks because we both had the Lakers winning this in 6. It shows that they really needed a big. They really needed a big this series.
I said Lakers in 5, and I'm sorry, Timberwolves, for underestimating y'all. I will definitely say that. I underestimated y'all. I thought the talent would be too good. This goes back to what I said when they first made the trade. I said this team did. First thing I said out of my mouth, they don't have a big. That's the first thing I said out of my mouth. And I said, this team is really not a contender. This team is really second round at best, second round or maybe conference finals. And all year, you kept trying to tell me the Nuggets could beat they could beat the Nuggets. They could possibly beat the Thunder. You kept telling me that. And I guess I just gave in, and you kept saying this team can't go to the championship. And I was always hesitant. I was like, I don't know. But then I was like, yeah, you know what? They could possibly go to the championship. Now that I look back, this team damn near was not going to go no championship. I don't care who they was playing. And I still to this day, if they would have faced the Nuggets, Jokic would have had a day with him. Because if you're getting a masterclass from Rudy Gobert, you're definitely getting a masterclass from Jokic. I'll start with Game 3. Game 3, they could have won, but Luka was sick. But I'm not gonna use that as an excuse. He played. At this point, you're out there, brother. If you so sick that you can't really do nothing for me, just go back to the locker room, bro. Because you're doing a detrimental to us being out there than you being on the court. Because you can't give us nothing. You weren't doing nothing.
But even a hurt Luka is better than anybody else y'all got. A sick Luka is better than anybody else that was on that bench. So it's like he had to.
But if he's so sick, he still can't, bro. What he gave us was nothing. He really to compare to Luka. Luka didn't technically give us nothing, and we basically got blown out that game. Got blown out. Like I'm cool with him giving it a try. But if you so sick, bro, you got this stomach virus, just go to the locker room, bro, and we could throw this game away and just worry about game 4. Like, that's what I'm just saying. Now, game 4, I don't know what the hell JJ Redick was doing, bro. I'm sorry. And I know you've been hyping him up all year. He looked like a rookie coach out there. And I don't think it takes a rocket science for me to be like, you know what? I got to sub some guys in so my stars can get a break. It don't take a rocket science for that.
Bro, he was like Tibbs in that moment, bro. He don't trust nobody on that bench. Who do he trust?
That's worse than Tibbs. That was worse.
Who do he trust on that bench that he could have subbed in for Bron and them?
You telling me Bron can't get 2 minutes rest?
Who was he gonna sub in?
I could at least sub in Jared Vanderbilt or something. Anybody for a minute. He didn't sub nobody out. They played the whole 24 minutes. He said without saying nothing. He just said to you guys, I don't trust you. That's basically what he said. Brother, LeBron could get some rest. He could get a minute rest. You can sub Jared Vanderbilt in for at least 2 possessions. At least 2. Somebody, bro. Luka could have got a rest. Austin Reeves could have got a rest. But to play them the whole second half, that's not good. That was terrible. Yeah. Like we can't be serious while Minnesota out there and they coming in with Nas, Reed, and Dante and their starters getting good rest. Come on, bro. I know the team ain't good, but Jesus Christ, they can at least get some rest. And it showed. No, they saying it was no fatigue. That's BS. It was fatigue. Fatigue played a part. Now, missing easy layups, that was crazy. Because LeBron and they was missing some easy bunnies in game 4. And they could have won that game. But I think fatigue played a part. Can't rebound. It's just like, bro, Anthony Edwards, 44 piece. What can you do? What can you do?
That was another reason why they lost. They had nobody to guard Ant. So, they sent 2 at them, but if you send in 2 at Ant, somebody's going to be open. And the others, they stepped up.
And then in game 5, I said it, and I always go back and look what I say. I said they would play a 5-out lineup to try to get Rudy Gobert off the court. Rudy Gobert was not getting played off the court. If we are going to do this, you have to bring in a big. Jackson Hayes is our only big. You have to bring in somebody, bro. And I'm watching the play, right? I see Jared Vanderbilt out there, and I'm thinking in my head, I was like, I put this on my grandma in my grandfather's grave. I said, Rudy Gobert's there. I'm like, why is it Jackson Hayes in? But then I saw Vanderbilt on Anthony. I was like, oh, I guess it's because Anthony, Vanderbilt got to guard Anthony Edwards. So I'm like, okay, I get that. But then throughout the game, he just really did not go to Jackson Hayes not one time, bro. Jackson Hayes is not good, but he could have gave us something. Like you said, you getting cleared on the rebounds every game. You have to put a big. If Rudy Gobert is out there, I say at least put in a big. Now, if he's not out there, cool. But when he's out there, you put in a big. But what did this dude do? Maxi Kleber was in the game, and Maxi Kleber ain't played in like 50 years. Why the hell would you do that? That makes no sense. Maxi Kleber clutch time minutes in a closeout game? Crazy. What
only reason why I think JJ did that is because Max Kleber and Luka are familiar with each other. And I think Max Kleber is like 6'9", 6'10". So it's like, okay, we got a big body out there that can shoot. He can spread the floor, and he's played with Luka before. So it's like they have some type of chemistry out there. But like you said, the man ain't played in forever. Why would you throw him out there?
If I had to divide the percentages of who to blame, Luka gets some blame. LeBron gets some blame. Austin Reeves definitely gets some fucking blame. That man was trash this series. He was bad. JJ Redick probably get the most blame, and it's only because of 2 games. Because your rotations were terrible in Game 5, and then you didn't sub nobody out. Like in Game 4, that was the game we probably should have won. And Anthony Edwards, shooting wise, did not play good yesterday. He only gave me 13 points. That is the game we are supposed to take advantage of. But of course, we get a masterclass from Rudy Gobert, the guy that we thought was going to get played off the court. I am just so confused on what we are doing. You said it earlier. Rui Hachimura played great. I don't think LeBron played great in this series. And I don't think Luka played great either. I don't think nobody played really great. Austin Reeves played like straight trash. But I still just want to know, why do we not have a big out there? Rudy Gobert's out there at least. I just, and especially when Dorian Finney-Smith fouled out. Jackson Hayes, what are we doing? I don't get it. I'm confused.
They should have let that Mark Williams trade go through. They should have just kept him.
Didn't you remember I said? Remember I was like, I said, man, we should have just accepted the trade. Because he would have been, now, is Mark Williams like this overly great big? No. But is he better than Jackson Hayes?
Better than Jackson Hayes?
Yes. He would have helped this series with the rebounding, with the rim pressure. Bro, we don't have no rim protection. We're running out 5 out lineups majority of the time. What are we doing? I'm sorry. Jared Vanderbilt has to get traded somewhere. We want to get somebody good. He can't. His offense is so bad. It is so bad. He can't do anything. Good, really great defender. But the offense is so bad. Gabe Vincent, our best POA defender, doesn't even play. I get why he doesn't play, but at the same time, it's just like, JJ Redick, bro. This is your first postseason. I understand. But man, you look like a damn idiot out there. And you look like you just felt like you knew everything, but you didn't, bro. You got out coached by Chris Finch. And I'm glad Chris Finch stayed with the lineup and said, y'all ain't taking Rudy Gobert off the floor. We gonna keep him in. We gonna dominate. And that's exactly what Rudy Gobert did yesterday. What do you have? 27 and like 24?
Yep, 27 and 20 something.
Like what? Like, bro, like that's what they could have did all series. And that's basically what they did all series. Before you go, I took some screenshots. So in the fourth quarter, Minnesota scored 127 points on 44%. We scored 85. We always got killed in the fourth quarter, every single time, always. They outscored us in every fourth quarter. The bench, they had 134. We only had 55. And we only had 10 points combined from the bench in the final 2 games. We deserved to lose that series. And my dumb self was cocky enough to say we had so much talent and the Timberwolves didn't have enough talent that the Lakers was easily going to win. I was definitely wrong on that. The Timberwolves had the better team. I just fell for, we got LeBron and Luka. They don't. We should win. And I feel bad for saying that. I disrespected y'all. And that's my bad.
I mean, now looking back on it, that Julius Randle trade was, remember we said the Knicks won that trade so far. Now it's looking like, if the Knicks lose, it's looking like Timberwolves won that because they at least made it, to the second round. Julius Randle, he played amazing this series. And Jaden McDaniels, shout out to Jaden McDaniels. They couldn't do. I think he had at least 3 good games because he played good in game. I know he had 2 good games for sure. Let me go back. 27 and 20 from Rudy Gobert is crazy.
I'm not shocked. From what I saw yesterday, I'm not shocked. Just dominate.
Yeah, Jaden did. This series was really about the others, if we being honest, because Anthony Edwards really didn't have that great of a series. It was really Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels, Naz Reid, Dante, Nikhil Alexander played well this series. It was really the others. They did what they had to do on Ant, but like you said, we needed a big, and I thought Luka and LeBron was going to be so great they would have dominated, but they didn't really have that great of a series either. I feel like if Luka and LeBron would have played like how we think they are supposed to play, this would have been a totally different series.
They could have played great, but what about the others? They were ass. They were bad. Rui Hachimura outplayed Austin Reeves this series. Austin Reeves was terrible. It was terrible.
I mean, if Luka and Bron played great, that game 4 and 5, those are W's, and it's 2-2 because they won game 1 and they lost game. The Timberwolves won game 3. Game 1 they wasn't even supposed to lose, in my opinion.
Honestly, you can arguably say Luka. Well, outside of the fourth quarter, Luka and LeBron damn near played great. They were just fatigued in game 4. That was the game we should have won. We should have won that game. This game, I'm not shocked we lost. If Rudy Gobert has a masterclass, we're supposed to lose. So I'm not shocked that we lost. I'm just more upset. Austin Reeves played like straight dookie. JJ Redick decides to not play a bid for some damn apparent reason. I think you said earlier that when Jackson Hayes is out there and we just have a big, we can't score. I get that. I understand that. But when Rudy Gobert is in the game, we need somebody to just at least battle for the rebounds. Obviously, Rudy Gobert had nobody to battle with if he's getting 24 rebounds. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, bro. I think JJ Redick got over his head, bro, and it was all down. Honestly, it was all downhill. Well, you can honestly say from game 3, but it was really downhill from the start of the third quarter to now. It was all downhill. Because we was up in game 3 by like double digits. We squandered the lead, bro. I knew they was eventually going to come back, but I felt like when we're up at that time, you got to at least put one of them on the bench. One of them. He chose not to do that. He literally said, I'm going to ride with you guys for the next 24 minutes. And if you guys are just tired, whatever. But I'm just going to roll with you guys. I'm not subbing none of you guys out.
If we being honest, they supposed to win. They won. Game 1 was a blowout, but they supposed to win game 2 through 4. For real. Well, they won game 2. They supposed to win games 3 and 4.
I can't tell. I can't tell. JJ Redick looked like a damn idiot. And I hope he learns from this.
He will. JJ will. JJ's too smart for that. He's gonna go back this entire offseason. He's gonna look at where they went wrong, what they did well. He's gonna bounce back from this. But this is about playoffs are about matchups. If this was the Warriors or the Grizzlies or something like that, this would be a day. I think they would have moved past the second round.
Obviously, me and you both didn't care about matchups because we both picked the Lakers to win, so we didn't care.
I mean, I thought Luka and Bron was gonna be so great. They play. I wouldn't say they played subpar, but like they didn't really play like Luka and Bron.
They could have played great all they want, but if nobody else ain't doing nothing, and if JJ ain't gonna trust the bench, who cares?
You gotta think, bro. Bron had 19 points the first game. He had 21 the second game. Like that's not Bron. That's not Bron. Let me see what he averaged for the season.
But we do got to remember he's 40. We do have to remember that he is 40 years old.
Like you said with Luka, Luka's sick. You out there playing? That's no excuse. You LeBron James, arguably 1-2 all greats all times. I don't care if you're 40. If you out there hooping, you got to show up. We can't keep using that you 40 excuse.
I'm so upset. But so what's next for the Lakers this offseason?
Go get a big. Go get a big. Go get a big. That's the first and foremost thing y'all need to go do. Go get a big. I think if they would have had a big, it would have been a different series. They would have won if they would have just had a big.
A funny thing is, you traded for Mark Williams and kept Dalton Connect, but he never touched the floor.
Never touch the floor.
I just
And
don't get this.
And they talking about scoring. Why Dr. Connect is damn near your best shooter on that team? Why wouldn't he at least see some minutes?
His defense sucks. Can't play defense.
I mean, shit, they wasn't out there playing D no way. So you might as well try to outscore him. You ain't playing no defense anyways. Luka getting blown past, Luka getting killed by Jaden McDaniels or whoever. He getting switched on. Might as well. I mean, you would rather roll out Maxi Kleber than Dalton Connect?
I'd rather roll out Jackson Hayes and put a big out there. That's what I'd rather do. None of damn Dalton Connect he can't play defense. Maxi Kleber ain't played in 50 years. I'd rather roll out a big. That's all I care about. This is what I'm gonna say. I knew I was gonna crash out, but this is what I'm going to say. The Lakers have to find a way to better this bench. You have to. So Luka is the priority now. First, you gotta hope he resigns. Losing in the first round ain't the best start now. Trying to get this man to resign, it ain't the best. So we already starting out bad. You have to get the players around him, and I've spoke of this, and I've heard other people say this. You have to basically kind of mirror the Dallas Mavericks team onto this Lakers team. You have to surround him with shooters. You have to surround him with rim run bigs who can catch lobs, who can defend. That's what Luka needs. Him out there with, yes, a lot of shooters, but no rim run bigs, it just doesn't work. And I'm watching Nightcap last night, and I'm hearing Shannon Sharp talk about they need to go get Valanciunas. I'm like, what? No. Do not go get him. No. Valanciunas is Brooke Lopez, basically, and he's just going to get played off the court. Why
they
would
need
they do
Nick
that?
Claxton. Nick Claxton.
It just shows y'all don't watch. It shows y'all don't watch, really, but that's neither here nor there. No, I don't want Valanciunas. If I'm the Lakers, I would try to at least, I'd rather have Capella over Valanciunas. Valanciunas is the better offensive player, but I think Capella fits what Luka wants. That's what I think. Like you said, Nick Claxton fit what Luka wants. Low-key, the center I want Walker Kessler. Because I think he's better than all of them, and he rim runs, catches lobs, and he protects the rim. That's what we need. And he's young. I'm not worried about his age and injuries. If I'm the Lakers, I'm trying to get Walker Kessler. That's what you need to do. You have to, of course, wait to see if LeBron gonna retire. He always says this. He's been saying this for the past 4 years now. I don't know if I'm gonna brother. You ain't retiring. Whatever. I know. First of all, I don't think you would do Luka bogus to retire and you only play 40 games with him. I don't think you ain't that bogus. I think you at least want to play a full season with the guy. So you're not. I don't think you're retiring. Now, if you do, that'd be sad. And I don't think LeBron's gonna go out like that. But you're not retiring.
No, he definitely not going out like you. Your last year is you losing in the first round. He ain't going out like that.
They need to get some better role players like Dorian. I'm not gonna lie. I said Dorian Finney-Smith fit better than Russell, but every time Dorian Finney-Smith shot a three, I was not confident that shit was going in. I felt like I was just not confident. I'm like, bro, he was missing every time, and he can get wide open, just be missing. I'm just like, bro, whatever. But you need a big, you need a bench, you need to pray Luka resigns. Gonna have to resign LeBron. If you could potentially get another star, Austin Reeves, you gotta go, brother. I love you, but you gotta go. But for now, you keep him, but you really just need a big. That's what the Lakers need to do. They need to get a big man. I don't know who, but not no damn Valanciunas. Hell no. Hell no. Bro, I'm so upset. Because I thought they should have won this series. I really thought they should have won.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, I knew Ant and them can get at least 2 games, but I didn't think that they was going 4-1 their ass. I did not think that at all.
I'm done talking about the Lakers. Fuck them. Just gotta wait till the offseason. This is the last series we're gonna talk about. The Nuggets and the Clippers. Last time we talked, the series was 1-1. The Clippers blew them out in Game 3 in LA, and we saw a masterclass from Jokic in Game 4. He had 30, 20, and 8. He threw up an air ball, but Aaron Gordon did a tip-in dunk for the game. It's crazy.
I thought it was no good. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought it was no good.
I thought it was good.
I thought his fingers was still on the ball when the clock whatchamacallit.
Well, okay, this is how I don't know how to explain it, but I think since it was in the rim, like it's in the rim, and I guess that's why they called it good. But the thing is, they called it good on the floor, so it's at that point you gotta have evidence to even overturn that, and I don't think it was gonna be enough to overturn it. I don't think so. I thought they was gonna lose, but they was blowing them out. Clippers made a run. And then in Game 5, the Nuggets basically blew them out. They had a masterclass from Jamal Murray with 43 points, I think, or 44. But what are your takeaways from this series, and what are you looking ahead to Game 6 and potentially a Game 7?
Well, to go back to that, you did first that Aaron Gordon game winner. I thought the ball had to go through the net first, and because the ball didn't even go through the net. So I'm like, it's in the rim, but it didn't even go through the net yet. And then, like I said, I thought his fingers were still on the ball. It sucks because they shouldn't have had. I don't think they should have had James Harden in on that possession. I think they should have subbed Ben Simmons in, or they should have went with a big lineup, for defensive purposes, or Derrick Jones Jr. or somebody, because you left James Harden in the dunker spot versus Aaron Gordon, who was some people say slam dunk champion, but he's a high flyer. All he gonna do is jump over James. Put somebody up there who can at least jump with him or box him out, bro. James, he's not that good defensively. James not worrying about boxing out. He wasn't even in a box out positioning. He was literally standing straight up. And Aaron Gordon jumped over him, tipped it in. That's game. If you would have had Ben Simmons or anybody else in who could at least jump with Aaron Gordon, they would have lost that game. Because Zubac has been playing well against Jokic. And which has surprised me. I thought, like I said, when it was 1-1, Jokic hasn't really been Jokic. And that's Zubac. Zubac is playing really well on him. I think that James Harden definitely has to step it up. He played well, I think, with the first 2 games, but since then he has barely done anything. He's been deferring a lot. I mean, granted, they've been trapping him, getting the ball out of his hands. But you're James Harden. You a future Hall of Famer, bro. You gotta step up. You gotta step up. Game 6 tonight, right? They're in LA and LA. I think James Harden and Kawhi, they have a good game tonight, and they win tonight. But
they have no choice.
Yeah, they ain't got no choice.
Got no choice.
But even with Jamal Murray's masterclass, bro, you let Westbrook go crazy. Who else was super hot on their team? It was Westbrook, Murray, and I think was it Gordon? I think Gordon too. You can't let them go crazy like that, especially Westbrook.
The Clippers probably might have folded because you finally get a Jokic stinker in Game 5 and you got blown out. That was the time you're supposed to take advantage of the Jokic stinker. But the Clippers have had opportunities to win. I do believe if they gone into overtime in Game 4, I do think the Clippers win that game. I believe that, and they go up 3-1. But they did it. They got game by a tip dunk. It is what it is. I think so far, the last 2 games, the Nuggets have outplayed them. They're being more physical to them. I really do. I think they out-rebounded them better because I've said they're the bigger team. I've always said that. Kawhi had outside of Game 2, Kawhi ain't been the greatest either. James Harden, like I said, I'm not shocked. James Harden is going to have a stinker. It's gonna happen. This is him. Now, Game 4, I don't think he played bad. I think he just wasn't aggressive. So I'm not gonna say that was a stinker. But Game 5, he was trash. And this happens when I say about James Harden. I told you this. I said when the games matter most, James Harden doesn't step it up for some damn apparent reason. I don't know why, but he just does it. For some apparent reason, he just doesn't step it up. And of course, you need him to play good. You can't give me 13 points, brother. I'm sorry. Come on.
Shit, he only had 11. You gave him more than what he actually had. He only had 11.
He played like trash. Shout out to First Things First for this graphic. Harden in games 2 through 5. He's averaging 16 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 turnovers, shooting 41% from the field, 34% from the 3, and 70% from the free throw. That's not James Harden. That ain't good. He's not playing good, and I need a master class tonight. I need one tonight. If they want to win, they have no choice. He has to play better. Same with Kawhi. Kawhi, like game 1, Kawhi played good like the first half, but then he turned the ball over and played bad. But in game 2, he had the match class. But outside of that, he just been decent, but he ain't been great. Honestly, the best player in the series is Ben Zubac. He's been
yeah. Yeah, Zubac's ass, he's been killing. Like you said, tonight's a big game. So we're gonna see if James Harden shows up. I think if they win tonight, I think they go into Denver and they close it out. I think Kawhi's gonna have another masterclass game and they close it out in Denver.
Honestly, I think he plays better. I just think he doesn't have a masterclass. And if he has another stinker again, I just won't be shocked because we've seen it. Then I got to come back in. Then I got to come to the next podcast and tell you, why did he have another stinker? Then you go try and make an excuse talking about he had Kawhi this time. That's why he been having them stinkers. Well, he got Kawhi now and he's still having the stinkers. This is just him, bro. This is just him. It's going to happen.
See.
But at least he got the stinker out the way. So you hope he plays better. But if he has another stinker again, oh my God, bro. He's going to get killed. As per usual, he's going to get killed. But I think Kawhi needs to play better. Norman Powell played good in game, what was that, game 4? He had like a couple of threes in the fourth quarter. Finally, he woke up. But you lost on a game win dunk. Ben Simmons, just, like I said, Ben Simmons out there just play defense and just run up the court and pass the ball, bro. He ain't out there to score, bro. He's not. They just been more physical in them, and if Jamal Murray plays somewhat similar like that, not saying 44, but at least maybe close to 30, they'll probably lose. And a lot of people had the Clippers because of depth. The defense was great. You had Kawhi Leonard and James Harden. A lot of people had it. A lot of people really ain't picked the Nuggets, but I picked them. And I'm sticking with my pick. But that is the best series. And I still think it goes 7, though. So I do think the Clippers probably win tonight, but I won't be shocked if they do lose. Like this has been a great series so far. It's been a great series. Dang, man, what's his name? David Adelman has kind of outplayed Ty Lue the past 2 games. I'm just saying. I
don't count that game 4. I don't count that. I don't think he outplayed.
How can you not count that? I
don't think David Adelman outcoached him game 4. He didn't outcoach him. They got lucky that one.
You need luck.
Yeah, but he didn't outcoach him. He didn't outcoach him that game.
Well, I think he kind of did when it came to like that third quarter. I think he kind of did outcoach him. I think from basically almost the third quarter all the way up, I think he's been outcoaching that man. Ty Lue is one of the best coaches in the league, and he gonna get them guys right tonight. So I expect them to play better. I hope James Harden plays better. Because if he doesn't, man, you got some explaining to do, brother. Real quick, we didn't say this during the Pacers and Bucks, but did you see that they showed a stat of since 1997 and 1998, teams that have been up 7+ in the final 40 seconds are 0 and 1,609. Now it's 1, and now Doc Rivers gave up the lead. I know we're past the Bucks and all that, but Do you think Doc Rivers survives this after that late collapse? Do you think he
No,
survives? You think
I've
he's
been
gone?
told you. I've been told you since the what was it mid-season that he should have been gone. I've been saying Doc should have been gone. Like, and then if you think about it, if you look at every other player who talks about Doc, his adjustments, bro, he can't make adjustments. You may be a good regular season coach, bro, but when it comes down to the playoffs, we need to make adjustments every game, or we need to make adjustments in the middle of a game, and you're not doing it. It's like you can't see it. So it's like you gotta go. You're an okay coach, but when it comes down to it's time to win or make adjustments, you can't do it.
I
You
mean,
can't do it.
he made the adjustment of benching Lopez and Kuzma. He made that
But it
adjustment.
was
I
too
give him
late.
that.
It was too late for that. And then that game when was game 5, they was supposed to win, bro. They was trying to inbound the ball, but they was having a hard time inbounding the ball.
You can't
And
blame Doc on that though.
no, hold on, but you let me finish. It was one play. Giannis was taken out of bounds, and Kevin Porter he had leaked out, but Doc Rivers called the timeout. And then after he called that timeout, that's when they threw another turnover. If he would have never called that timeout, Kevin Porter would have got the ball. They would have advanced it. And then
Wait,
who knows how the game would go.
Isn't that the play when Giannis couldn't get the ball in bounds? Isn't that Giannis couldn't get the ball in bounds, right?
No, he threw the ball at Kevin Porter, but right before he threw it, Doc Rivers called the timeout. But Kevin Porter was wide open.
But he saw that Giannis was struggling getting the ball in. I think you kind of would have did the same thing, especially when it gets close to that. When it gets to that 1, 2, 3, 4, then you gotta call that, or it's a 5-second violation. You have to do that. I don't think he wanted to, but he saw that Giannis was struggling to get the ball in.
He should have just kept his mouth shut, bro. I mean, Giannis didn't have a hard. He did have a hard time getting the ball in. He should just let it ride, bro. Kevin Porter got open when she was doing the count. He called the timeout at like 3 seconds. You still had 2 extra seconds. Well, really 1, because you really had 1 extra second. You should have at least seen what that was gonna happen then before you called that timeout. I get why he called the timeout, because before then they turned the ball over. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? But
let me see something.
Doc can't make adjustments, bro. Doc got to go. He has to go. And now you'll be paying what, 3 coaches?
Well,
if you fire him?
Adrian Griffin still got Bud. I think then Bud might be off the contract. So it'll be 3. So Doc Rivers, Adrian, and whoever the new coach might be. But what new coach wants to come to that BS? Who wants to come to that? I don't think a lot of people want to come to that. Okay, this might not be long, but let's just do like a little preview of the Pacers and the Cavs series. You know, who do you have winning that series? And like what are your thoughts on that series, since that is the only matchups that we do know about?
I got the Cavs and whatchamacallit in 6. I think that, Pacers do have the size to match up with them. But I think the Cavs are just too great. They have nobody to stop Donovan Mitchell. They can shut Tyrese down. They have nobody to guard Darius Garland. I don't think Nembhard is gonna have. It's like Nembhard when he goes against the Bucks, it's just barbecue chicken to him. I don't think he's gonna. All these players they had that great first series. I don't think that's gonna happen again, because the Cavs are way better defensively than the Milwaukee Bucks. So it's gonna be more of a challenge to get to the rim, to shoot these threes, to play, and then on top of that, the Cavs can play fast with them. So I think they just too much for the Cavs. They don't have enough for the Cavs, and their defense is better. And one thing we know, if the Pacers are gonna let you back in the game, if they're up, you're gonna get back in the game. So, and I believe the Cavs can get more stops than the Pacers can, more timely stops than the Pacers can.
I think they split the series like 2-2, but I don't count the last 2 games of the season because they basically rest people, so I don't count those. I think the Cavs have maybe more shot makers on that team. You got Donovan, you got Darius Garland. You could say Evan Mobley. You got Ty Jerome coming off the bench. They actually probably bigger than the Cavs. I mean, than the Pacers, honestly. Like Mobley is basically 7 foot, damn near. Siakam is like what, 6'9", 6'10" at the most. Jared Allen is basically 7. Well, according to like ESPN, he's short, but he's probably like 6'10", 6'11". They probably bigger than them, more physical, more physical than them. Honestly, I am going to pick the Cavs because I think they just have the better team. But again, if somehow the Pacers lose, if somehow the Pacers win, I will not be shocked, and I would gladly take take that L. I think the Pacers could match them offensively. They do have a lot of scores. I just worry about them defensively. Are they going to be able to stop a Donovan Mitchell jump shot? Because when Donovan Mitchell on, he on. Darius Garland, he had a really good series. Well, I don't count them. I'm not even counting the Heat. I don't count that. Let's see what he does against a better team than the Heat. Favorable matchup for him, probably able to get to the hole, get downhill. Like I said, I have the Cavs. I think the Cavs just have the better team. But the Pacers win, I won't be upset.
I don't see the Pacers winning in no type of timeline because you're gonna have Jared Allen on Miles Turner. Miles Turner is not gonna do what he did against the Bucks. You're gonna have Evan Mobley on Siakam. Evan Mobley's gonna play great defense on him. And then you're gonna have Nembhard. I don't think they're gonna really worry about Nembhard, but they have what advantage does the Pacer have at what position? They don't have advantage at no position.
Advantage? I would say forward.
What advantage? The Siakam and Mobley. So Siakam has an advantage over Mobley?
I didn't know. I was talking about really the small forward position. I was talking about that. Like you have Max Strus, you have some with DeAndre Hunter, but you have some matchup with Nesmith, Max Strus. Pick your poison. DeAndre Hunter probably better than Nesmith, but forward position they probably better. We both think the Cavs have better players, just have a better team. But I think this is gonna be a good series anyway. Like I think there's gonna be a good series. Wouldn't be shocked if it goes 7. I would have the Cavs. I probably pick the Cavs in. I'll be biased. I pick the Cavs in 7. I think the Pacers.
I'm giving the Pacers 2 games to be generous. I really think it'll be 4-1.
No,
but I'm gonna go 4-2. I'm going 4-2 to be generous.
No, don't be generous. Pick what you really think gonna happen. If you think they're gonna get swept, they're gonna get swept. If you think it's gonna be 4-1, pick 4-1. Don't be generous.
4-2. The Cavs are gonna win in 6 games.
He's trying to be safe. That's why he's just trying to be safe. Like, man, look.
Yeah, so look, I say they gonna win in 4, then you come on here. Oh, you are wrong. You said it. I'm not trying to hear your mouth, my dog. They're gonna win in 6. The Cavs are gonna win regardless, but they're gonna win in 6, at least 6 games.
No, if you win, if they win, I wouldn't care. But if because you win, I don't care if you win in 4-1 or 4-6. I just want you to be real. If you think it's gonna be 4-1, pick 4-1.
4-2, dog. They're gonna win in 4-2.
You're trying to be safe.
Nah, niggas like you like to put words in my mouth a lot, dog. So if I say 4-1, you gonna come in. Oh, I thought the same thing you did with Kuzma,
no, I didn't.
Porters and all that. You gonna do the same thing, dog. Shield, I've known you my whole life, dog. You're gonna do the same thing.
No.
You're gonna do it, dog. I know you.
So you think if they win in 4-1, you think if they win in 4-1, you think I'm gonna come up here and say I thought I was gonna win? No, but they won. Who cares? Who cares? They still won at the end of the day. Who cares? You was wrong about Bobby Portis and Kuzma. You was wrong, and Brook Lopez. You was wrong. That's all I'm saying.
That's cool. You can't always be right. That's okay.
That was man. Halliburton, man. You're my guy, man. You're my guy. You shut this guy up, man. He was speaking that nonsense.
That nigga mid. That nigga is mid and will always be mid.
Hey, that's your opinion, brother. That's your opinion.
No, it's a fact. It's a fact.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion, brother. I don't know where it is, but that's what you think. Hey, I'm not gonna go into the Halliburton argument. If you think he mid to you. I don't.
That man is mid. That man can't even average over 20 points. That man is mid.
That's fine with me. He make it far in the playoffs.
Shit, he finna get bounced this round. What are you talking about?
That's fine.
Then him going to they went to the conference finals. That was luck. That was luck that year. Granted, you do need luck to win a championship. You do need luck, but they got lucky.
It's okay. Halliburton, I got you, brother. People just speaking them nonsense, overrated stuff on you. But let's end it. Let's end it with these little games. We got 2 games tonight. Then I think we have one game tomorrow. So let's do this. The Knicks and the Pistons. Who do you have winning and why?
I got the Pistons. I mean, you know, I've had the Pistons since the get-go. I felt like they should have been and closed this series out. Jalen Brunson's hurt. His ankle was, you know, messing with him. So if they can put more pressure on him and on that ankle, and play great defense on them for these last 2 games, they can win. They can win this series.
Again, I said Knicks in 6, but I'm scared, but I would not be shocked if the Pistons won. So I'm going to stay with my pick. I'm going to say Knicks, but if the Pistons win, I will not be shocked. I have the Knicks because I feel like they still got the more shot makers. If Cat can have a good game like he did in game 4, they will win because Jalen Brunson is always going to match Cade and Cade is going to match him. But if the Pistons want to win, you need shots from Tim Hardaway. You need shots from Malik Beasley. Tobias Harris has stepped it up. Dennis Schroeder stepped it up. Even Asor. And I think Asor is going to have another good game too. But at the Knicks, man, it really just depends on Jalen Brunson. If he steps it up, has a good game, and makes the clutch shot, he's a clutch player of the year for a reason. He'll win this. They can win this game. So, you know, I'm going with the Knicks, man. I'm going with the Knicks. They pull this out. And then tonight we got the Nuggets and the Clippers. Who do you have winning and why?
All right, I got the Clippers. That game 4 loss, I think, is still salty taste in their mouth. I think they feel like they should have been in this series. So I think James Harden's going to come out aggressive. I think Norman Powell and the others are going to come out aggressive, and I ain't gonna think it's going to be a blowout, but I think it's going to be a good win for the Clippers. They probably win by more than 5, but yeah, I got the Clippers winning tonight.
If James Harden has another stinker, they will lose. That's all I'm gonna say. They will lose if he has another stinker. And from history, we've seen James Harden have stinker in the closeout games and in the big games period. That being said, I'm gonna go with the Clippers because I'm still gonna go with my bet because I had Nuggets in 7. Gonna stick with that. So I think the Clippers bounce back, get a W. But if the Nuggets do win tonight, I will not be upset because that is another win on my record as I am definitely keeping track of our playoff records. But I think the Clippers bounce back and get a W. They are at home. I think James Harden plays better. But if he has a sneaker, I will not be shocked. I think Kawhi has a bounce back game because the last couple of games he just hasn't been the same. Norman Powell got to step it up. Bogdanovich got to step it up. All those guys have to step it up for them to beat them because Jokic is going to get his. Yes, Jokic had a sticker last game. He played bad. But Jamal Murray stepped it up. And if Jokic has another great game like he did at game 4, and if nobody else on the Clippers step it up, they will lose. But I'm going with the Clippers. I think the Clippers tied up, but the Nuggets will win in 7. And tomorrow we got the Rockets and the Warriors. Who do you have winning and why?
Low-key Warriors. I think the Warriors gonna close this out. I think you know that last game, like you said, I think everybody knew the Rockets was gonna win that last game, bro. The Rockets were at the line in the first quarter with 8 minutes to go, bro. When I seen that, I said, yeah, the Warriors not gonna win this game. They gonna get blown out. They gonna go back to Golden State, and they're gonna win in 6. I think Jimmy is just too much for them. Steph is gonna have a masterclass game. You know that the Warriors defense is good. I think they're gonna shut down Jalen Green again. I don't think Fred's gonna have a good game, or if he does, they're gonna shut down everybody else. I don't think that the Rockets gonna have enough to close it out in game 6. I think Jimmy and Steph are just gonna have great games and close that series out.
I'm sticking with the Rockets. The Rockets have the momentum now. You just basically blew out the Warriors. Fred has been good the past 2 games. Sengun has been their best player. Amen Thompson has been great the last 2 games, and on the defensive end too. And Dylan Brooks has played good too. But if Jalen Green has another stinker and gets benched again, It is what it is. I can't defend the man. I wouldn't be shocked if he does have another stinker against bench again. But somehow, some way, they still be in close games and just have a chance to win, even without him. And the games have been so close and low scoring, it doesn't really matter. But if he plays good, they probably win game 6 and force it back in Houston in game 7. So I think the Rockets go in there, play tough defense, get enough shots from everybody. They beat the Warriors, man, and we go back to H-Town for game 7. And that is it for the Full Court Entertainment Podcast. Follow us on all social media outlets at Full Court Entertainment Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. Make sure you guys follow us on all our audio platforms and Apple Music and Spotify. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the video. That means so much. Comments. We love the comments, bro. We love the likes, gets our videos out there so everybody can see what we are doing. So basically, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the videos and follow us on every social media platform. We post basically every day, so you're going to get content from us all the time. But that is it, y'all. We will see y'all next time. Next time we see y'all, it will be the semifinals. See y'all next time. See you later.